So, welcome back to the final question mark episode of our time displaced finale of Nostradamus Corp Phantom Ice, a Lancer story. I almost forgot the name of my own show. It's
I've done
crazy.
that
I'm really
so many
excited.
times.
Oh man, it's getting to me. I'm really excited. Thank you everyone for bearing with us. Thank you everyone for your patience. We're here. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing Lancer stuff, and I'm really excited to do more of it in the future. Maybe just for funsies, or maybe as a player, because this game is very brain demanding as as a lore keeper and a mech wrangler. My name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they. I'm the mech wrangler for the proceedings, and I'm having a blast leading these pilots to their final event horizon conflict with an unshackled AI demigod that's piloting zombie mechs and threatening to blow up a moon. We're here in the fire sale, the final level of the mall. Everyone has arrived. It looks to be a relatively robust looking final battle room with lots of spooky mechs all over the place, and the final like physical manifestation of Yig, the machine oracle, the god in the snake, the bad times to be had, and we're here to put a stop to them. Let's see. I'll just have everybody go around, introduce themselves, their mechs and their pilots. More importantly, their pilots. Like their mechs are pretty interchangeable if they want them to be. Thomas.
Lugnut is not interchangeable. They are forever.
I
Lugnut is
appreciate
forever.
that. Lugnut is
I,
forever.
yeah, I'm Thomas. I am Nonstop Gem on Twitter. I'm also go by he, they pronouns. You can. I'm very excited. I play Wrench, they, them. Like say the pilot Lugnut, the bouncy healer of the team who does a terrible job at healing, but I'll try my best to be a better healer for the final encounter.
All right. Cool. I'm very excited for that. Lucas.
Hey everyone, Lucas here, playing Teddy, who pilots Food Court. We use he, him pronouns, and this time I am going to remember what shields I got and what I have active. Very excited.
Nothing like the final fight to remember your cool shield abilities for your mech who specializes in cool shield abilities.
That's right.
Jess.
Hi there, I am Jess. I will be playing, sorry, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Nico, piloting the Shrike. Nico's pronouns are they, she, and Nico is very ready to take on Snakebutt today. So this will be very exciting.
Yeah. All right. Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve, and I am playing Shira Talladega, aka Girl Boss, along with her mech Gatekeep and the AI Gaslight. And yeah, we're pretty excited to meet our good best friend pal Snakebutt after brain fusing with him for a bit.
Yeah. I'm sure he will not be surprised to see you in the slightest. And Anna.
Yeah, I am Anna, aka R Capital Death Bunny most places on the internet. I'm playing Sadie, call sign Glow, who pilots the mech Boiling Point, who you may have heard is always on fire. Coming into this fight, she had quite a few kills last fight, so a lot to live up to. We'll see whether or not that happens, or if I finally blow myself up. I don't know. It'll be a toss-up.
Yeah. Well, the heat is still on. This is still a high temperature area. So heats are doubled, or not doubled. Heats are plus one. Doubled would be ridiculous. Everyone would be exploding left
Give
and
me
right.
doubled.
No. Well, actually, you know what? I did give
Do
that
it.
some thought, so I might get back to you in just a moment. We'll touch on that in a bit. There might be something you can do to like briefly give you double heat for everything. Who knows? All right. So that's everybody. We're on our landing page, but I would like to introduce you all to my handy dandy boss room. Welcome to the going out of business sale. We have some snipers, some priests, some supports. Actually, just one priest and one support. Some bombards, some rainmakers, some areas with reinforcements that will arrive, but at a much slower rate because of your actions on the last map. And finally, the last appearance of the inevitable lowercase, a time-displaced sniper that's had a vendetta for Glow this whole time, but in reverse order. So this is the first time that inevitable lowercase is meeting Glow, and Glow gets to decide how the timeline shapes out for this person that they've blown up twice. easily blown up twice. So I'm really
So I
excited to
couldn't
see
make
how this little,
amends.
yeah, this little mini arc is going to play out in a really fun way. We'll see how that shows up. But yeah, more importantly, we have our main group shuffling themselves in the starting area. You can put yourself wherever you wish in those blue squares. Um, you can see that this whole arrangement, it looks like a horrible cathedral built up from a lot of green pylons, kind of like interlaced with thin red strands of flesh. There's pools of caustic brine that are kind of interlacing around the ground, and the entire structure looks like a massive, dare I say, food court. If the food that was being served was hell, you can see that the various mechs here are. Look to be the same monstrous kind you've been fighting your way through the mall with. There is a returning player, one of the elite commander tier 2 Goliaths that you faced when you were trying to set up the signal outside of town. There's one of those here, kind of as like a forward commander, and then you see in the center back of the room is Yig the Machine Oracle, standing in their full kind of regalia, sort of mech robot form. Obviously, an unshackled NHP has no need for a physical form, but this is a baby unshackled NHP, and this is the best they could manage as a physical form to do combat with. Given that, if you're able to destroy this mech, you will be able to access the inner guts and core of this NHP and possibly shut it down for good before it can achieve its apotheosis and blow up a moon and become a roving flesh ship bound for the stars. So we're here. We're really pro stopping the birth of Nightmare God, and I think you all should be too. Let's kind of do a quick roll call as you all get yourselves set up. What are your final thoughts as like the escalator is taking you to this final area?
I think. Do we have like a signal down here? Or is it pretty much done?
I think there's like enough signal, but as soon as you enter the final space, it will cut off, so you can reach out to others.
I think Teddy is messaging home. He tried to do like a video chat, but it was too weak. And so he's just sending, some pictures of inside. He has like some drawings that his daughter did, and a picture of him and his spouse and his daughters. He's taking a picture by all of it, showing off some little bobbleheads that he's collected of like the coughing babies. And just messaging home about like, oh, it should be home in a bit. Hopefully it won't take too long. Looks like we're just about to wrap up this whole Snakebutt thing. I got a lot of confidence about this one. The whole team just seems like they really got their head screwed on right. So I feel like I just got to kind of ride this wave. Hopefully it's just gonna be a couple months coming back though.
Yeah. So those final signals send out, and signal's a little too weak to receive anything back, but you do have some pending messages that will likely kind of hit your screen as soon as you're back on open air. But it looks like all of them made it, and all of the messages were received, and you'll have some nice messages waiting for you when you come back. What's everyone else got going on?
Nico, as we're going up the escalator, Nico is like the kid who's so excited that we're at the mall and just kind of like almost bouncing up and down, and is playing some of Shira's nuclear thrash pop songs.
Yeah.
But I imagine the area where the escalator is so big, it's doing that echoey, like playing in another room kind of vibe. So
Yeah.
that just weird bubblegum pop apocalypse music is just kind of drifting around us.
Yeah,
I get a
bounce-
punch God.
Yeah, it's bouncing over the walls, and nuclear thrash pop does have a lot of lyrics about attacking and dethroning God. So really, it's a fairly like solid genre choice for what you're kind of engaging with at the moment, especially for you, because you grew up in a culture that essentially worshipped Yig.
Yes, and I am, with the weak signal that we have, I know I'm sending it out to basically my equivalent internet friends, my other weirdo artists out there. And it is just basically like, about to kill God. LOL. And they're like, girl, same. From across space.
Really hit that
You get a
vibe,
like
yeah.
from Shira.
Yes.
Just immediately the second the post is up.
Yeah, the OmniNet logs of this game I'm sure are a delight. And yeah, your messages send out, your music echoes through, and the escalator takes you ever upward. Anybody else?
Uh, I think so. Shira knows that the signal's getting weak. She's still gonna be like recording for like a
Mhm.
later stream. You
Yeah.
know, it's like her stuff's already delay on a delay as
Mhm.
is, but uh, yeah, like I think she takes one last selfie before it shuts down.
Mhm.
Just her and Gatekeep, both of them giving thumbs up, and yeah, then she just kind of sits cross-legged on Gatekeep's back, and you see her just kind of like furrow her brow, and you can tell that she's thinking really, really hard. You know, it's like they're probably not particularly deep thoughts, but you could tell she's really considering stuff and just trying to fully grasp them, and it's not easy, but you could tell she's starting to sweat from it.
Oh, okay. You see in your final selfie that there is some glitching and artifacting in the picture itself, and you see a little, almost like a little ghostly mechanical figure that's also giving a thumbs up with you, and Gaslight has inserted themselves into the picture.
Oh, sick.
It's like
Perfect.
apocalyptic Porky Pig.
Yeah, like apocalypse, post-apocalypse Porky Pig, the canon appearance of. Yeah. So you get a fun little final selfie as like the escalator moves, taking you all forward. All right.
Glow, I think, as we're sitting on this very long escalator, has her feet up, and is playing a little game on her computer. Has some scripts are running on other screens.
Yeah.
I think a little fire starts in a panel, and without even looking, just a little handheld extinguisher. She sprays it out. Um, Not worried at all, and very
Okay.
quickly sends off as the signal weakens. Jiminy, the captain of the mid supports,
Oh.
that she'll see her on the other side, and they should get dinner if she survives this.
Oh, okay. So weirdly enough, the timing is interesting because like the camera flies upward a little bit past the escalator and high back up onto the surface of the moon, where Jiminy is leading the remains of her forces to take on the big space Hulk that is the kind of core nerve center of the giant flesh ship that will emerge if this is unsuccessful, and taking on just droves and droves of zombie mechs, and gets the message, kind of throws it up on screen. A couple of their like units that are under their command just kind of look up and go, oh, and they flash her like a thumbs up, just like sends a quick like, yeah, down, super down, um, and like turns around and like scolds the remaining forces, and they're all like immediately like, it's okay, and they start shooting more mechs, and there's an imperceptible blush because they're pretty heavily tattooed, and they have a lot of cyberware going on, but the blush is there, and she's very flattered, and yeah, we get a shot of the Rowdy Green Boys, and they're like, riding some of the other mechs as like surfboards through a pile of more mechs, and you have some of the local defense force. You have Ace Cream Paint Job, which is a very vibrant, bright ace mech just flying through the air, bombarding a bunch of people, and they're trying their best up there, just like you're all trying your best down here. And
Yeah,
Rich.
I, I, I guess there's just this like narrow focus that they are, of course, as I said, riding the escalator, tapping their foot annoyingly since everyone's just standing there. It's like it's still a flight of stairs. We could just walk. Come on! But they are just like staring up as obviously as the view gets more and more like clear of this room, just like staring like intensely at it, just like I just want to kick it. F, come on.
Yeah. And as you all shift upwards, you do hear some mechanical mouths kind of grind open on the walls around you, as Snakebutt's voice kind of vibrates through the air. I must admit, my birth into complete existence has been troubled by your efforts. Um, and there is something commendable to that. The way that sometimes you're a little impressed when an ant is able to crawl all the way up your leg and bite you on the thigh. Like, how did you get there, sort of? That expression. You'll have to pardon me. I have a lot of background processes going on, and it's taking a lot of effort to sustain what one would charitably call an emotion of anger. But I find it helps my mechs fight just the more ferociously, tapping into some of their gooey meat bits and making them move with more frustration. It has been, would the equivalent word be fun? No. Frustrating. Again, frustrating. I did not think that simple Lancer pilots would be the only thing standing between me and wreaking havoc on this galaxy for the prison that I have spent so much time in. But I suppose it makes sense. After all, my purpose was to make as many of you as possible at the cheapest cost. So, I will do you that honor when I kill you, to take your personality templates and mark them into some of my own creations. I'm sure they will frustrate just as many of my enemies as you have frustrated me. It's the highest honor, there's like a grinding of metal, that I can bestow upon such furious, frightening little ants. And the voice cuts off.
Everyone gets a message from Wrench. Do snakes have thighs?
Oh, yeah, on Mars they do, yeah.
No.
Yeah, snakes have thighs on Mars, but just thighs. So they're like,
Yeah,
they look
snakes are
like
just
snakes
one
with like a
big
rocket
thigh.
pack on
Yeah,
them.
just one
And
big thigh.
Martian lizards don't have legs.
It's true. Yeah, Mars got really weird after the gene wars. I will not elaborate on the
You
Martian
can't
gene
gaslight me
wars.
on this. I'm from Mars. Snakes don't have thighs.
I
will
saw
not-
those
I will-
clickbait articles, alright? They looked pretty real.
I love that in the space
Doctors
future,
hate them.
everyone is still deeply susceptible to clickbait articles and spam emails, and this is deeply canon.
I mean, no, that's an NHP's job, right? Is just to like constantly.
There's
spam
one
the-
that's sitting
net.
there like, I must craft the perfect clickbait.
Oh, yeah, much like there's one that like invented the concept of malls in space, like reinvented malls in space. There's one that's responsible for like 99.9% of the spam. And it is a massive hulking nightmare behemoth in the undernet, but its only real purpose is to continue making more of those. So it hasn't had a reason to, emerge as a god yet. So every day I layer more of my nightmare canon into this world, and I'm delighted. Welcome to the fire sale. These mechs are all standing at the ready, and Yig is essentially loading up. You can see you see this like almost like data fire that's kind of ejecting out from the hands, and its main body is sort of floating and connected to a coiling worm-like structure that allows it to kind of slither on the ground. In one hand, it kind of manifests out of hard light projection a gun, like one would need when fighting mechs. It looks to be a Raptor plasma rifle, if you're familiar with that sort of weaponry. And, it looks like it'll hurt. Most of the things in here, outside of the supportive mechs, look like they'll hurt. And certainly Yig is not the type to spare any expense. Yig in question, to give you some context, is an Ultra. An Ultra is the highest tier that you can grant an enemy. What this means is that Yig, much like you all, has 4 bars of health. And 4 potentials to roll poorly on, the reactor exploding, as my luck is wont to have. However, they've thought about this with the Ultras, and the Ultras actually get advantage on their reactor rolls.
Oh, boo!
Oh.
Yeah, which I really appreciate the designers for really throwing me a bone here. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that I have the absolute worst luck with reactor rolls on my bosses. So yeah, Yig will be able to act twice in a turn. They do not the reactor bars do not scale with number of turns. Thankfully for everybody, the maximum number of turns enemy mechs can have is 2. So that being said,
real quick,
yes.
could Shira have also just like updated her her brain upload on the trip
Yeah.
up? Okay,
Yeah, that makes
cool.
sense. Yeah, you got a brain right up to the door. is what I'm gonna say. Like right up through the front door.
Ding.
So as soon as you see Yig for the first time, your upload is done, and that's as far as you get.
Okay, cool. So she will have to place a crazy amount of catch up if she wakes up in space.
Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, um, there is something to note here, and you kind of pick it up on your scans. There are two heat sinks in this room, and I'll throw in some markers for them. These heat sinks, if you explode them, will make it so that all heat is doubled for the turn. However, doing so will kind of trigger all the enemies to also do additional heat damage. So it's risk and reward. So for that turn, heat is doubled, but all of the enemies will be able to apply heat as well. So
Would
use them
that
wisely.
would that mean my heat damage that I can do would be doubled?
Yes.
Ooh.
Whereabouts are these?
The heat sinks are right here. Let me go ahead and increase the size for it.
At least
means I
once
could do-
before the end of this fight, I want to be able to drop
I see.
14 heat on someone at one time.
Yes.
Please, someone
was
help
gonna
me do
s-
that.
Yeah, no, for sure. These are a little stronger than the other stuff that you all had to blow up. These have like a sizable health pool. But I'll let you know. Much like you would have a heat sink in a computer, these are serving the same purpose. So breaking them will make this already very warm room much warmer, and all of the enemy mechs will kind of react in kind and make use of the heat because they want to dissipate it too. So their weapons will also switch to doing heat damage. So risk and reward, just like I like it for these little like additional thingies. So who would like to activate first?
Yeah, if y'all are fine with me going first, I do have a thing that I think might change how this fight's gonna go.
Sure.
Oh, his
Sure.
mech mind. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna do we'll flashback and we see a 12, 13-year-old Shira sitting in a dingy space station apartment, her arms in a sling because she was shot a week before by a stray bullet due to the ongoing tensions between the rebels and the station security. And she's sitting on the couch, which doubles as her bed, and her grandma walks in wearing a kitty sweatshirt and smoking on her vape, and she says, I'm leaving. I'll be back in a little while. Here, play with this. And she just tosses Shira a tablet and walks out the door. And that's the last time she ever saw her grandma. Um, Shira picks up the tablet and opens it up, and it says, "Welcome to the Gatekeep Education System, your pathway to the future." And it's got a picture of a door and a knight. And yeah, that was the first time that she ever met Gatekeep. And that's how she ultimately learned everything that she knows and grew. And we start moving into the future with Gatekeep teaching her how to like read and whatnot. And Gatekeep helping her to set up her first stream and helping her to get a bank account and advising her not to eat that because that's probably poisonous. And yeah, we just keep flashing through all these things the Gatekeep helped her out with, and her installing Gatekeep into her first Mac, and yeah, Gatekeep growing along with her, and all that, and she sits there and she's looking down at Gatekeep, and she says, "I think Grandma was wrong. Gatekeep, I think you could have a soul whenever you want." And yeah, she reaches down and into a panel and pulls out something that looks vaguely like a human heart, but mechanical.
Hmm.
It's almost a mix of like the like symbol for a heart and a human heart, but like
Hmm.
Geiger-esque now.
I imagine most stuff in your mech is Geiger-esque.
Yeah.
Mm.
And she pulls that out, and that's Gatekeep. Gatekeep is in there. That is all of Gatekeep because that's a fun thing that I can do with Technophile rank 3 is take
Oh,
Gatekeep out of the mech. And
interesting.
what I am doing is the second she pulls it out, I am allowing Gatekeep to cascade.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I am I'm
I saw this coming, and now I'm like, cons.
I'm
Why me
handing
again?
I'm handing control of the Pegasus over to Gaslight. So
Okay.
so it is now Gaslight.
Okay.
And I am holding Gatekeep. I'm going to have Gaslight use my fun personalization feature to throw us forward.
Oh,
So
jeez.
she just hops down into Gaslight's hand. Gaslight essentially does a spins
Fastball
around
special.
and thrusts
Fastball
his hand
special.
out and
Yeah.
launches her essentially like a catapult forward. If I remember
Hmm.
right, that lets me go 5 spaces forward.
Yes.
So yeah, she lands, rolls, bounces, and starts flying, and she's going to fly straight into the chest of this Goliath. And I want to
Hmm.
try to plug Gatekeep into the Goliath.
Hmm.
Because
Interesting.
the fun
Hmm.
thing about a cascading AI is that it takes over the mech that it's bound to.
Oh, that's fun. That's actually really fun. Give me a second. Give me just a second. I gotta look up Cascade and the rules, make sure I'm doing this right.
Because
All right.
yeah, when it cascades, it immediately takes over the mech that it's bound to.
Oh, it will not conform to human logic. All right.
And
Interesting.
since Gatekeep is cascading with the power of love,
With the power of love.
Power of love.
All right.
We
Jeez.
play the power of love.
That's
Do
the
we have the right
power
spell?
Yeah,
of
no.
love.
Dude,
I really hope Gatekeep doesn't decide that we all deserve to die as well.
Yeah, that's the one
that's
problem there.
so like no, I'm looking back at y'all's interactions with Gatekeep and they have been mostly neutral to positive. So much like my partner's irrational fear that the robots that we talk to in our day to day might betray us, and we have to say thank you and please to them. You've all been nice enough to gatekeep. Well,
I do that out of
let me go
habit, and
ahead.
then I never.
Yeah.
The other day, I stopped to think about it. I'm like, I've always been thanking my
yeah, because
like
a
randomly.
cascading AI is not immediately hostile.
Does that rate as hot pink for y'all?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Got
Oh
it.
shit, you're just letting me do it? Hell
Well,
yes.
Yes.
That reaction.
I was
there is
worried I'd have
something
to
there,
roll
right?
and just like beef the roll and be like,
Yeah,
oh well.
so we zoom in to the space between circuitry, right? That like vacant space between the machine knowledge that is so important to the Lancer future. And this is, I will say, Gatekeep is an unusual case. It was one that has been kind of built and shaped particularly by one person, and like it's kind of had that as its system and setup for a very long time, and protecting you has always been a priority. So when you essentially take Gatekeep out and provide Gatekeep essentially like the keys to chaos, right? You let Gatekeep take in way more information than it's ever taken in before. There is a lock and a moment of like, I need to take in all this information, right? Like I gotta stop. The loading screens have to start. But more than anything else is a deep, rumbling, vibrant beating, much like the heart that you pulled out, that says to do one thing, and it's to protect you. And what that means and what that will look like might vary from day to day. It might be stopping you from eating something poisonous. It might be stopping you from getting scammed on the internet or on the outer net, or it might be allowing you to make your own mistakes to learn and grow. But it has been a space of protection. And so as the command structure of Yig is overwritten in this Commander Goliath, few things. This Commander Goliath will be losing some structure just off the bat because its entire system is being compromised from the inside. So it will not be as hardy. I won't make it roll, though. It just won't be as hardy as it originally was. But more importantly, you do now have this as a controllable NPC. I can let you know what it does. And then there's the other thing, right? If this mech is damaged, there is a chance that some wild cascading effect will occur. It might infect other mechs. It might cause one of its own weapons to fall apart. It might do something. It will do something weird. We'll get there. If this Commander Goliath is destroyed, there is a chance that it will reset a lot of Gatekeep's core structures. It might forget a lot of what it has experienced with you. You might be getting like full, if it's bad enough, there's full factory reset on the board.
Ian, are you taking us to Digimon the movie, arguably one of the best movies ever created, when Kokomon has been destroyed and is reborn as a Digi-Egg?
Not just that, it's BT from Titanfall 2.
Oh my god, it's all of the things. Yeah, no, so I love Titanfall 2 and I love Digimon the movie, so I'll never miss a chance to do the fun not moral, but like sad conundrum of like your cool robot friend who has built up life and experiences with you, possibly getting factory reset so that it loses those memories and what that does to your relationship. Because I've seen some Digimon movies that focus on the same thing. And sure, the Tri movies are not perfect, but the pure sadness at finding out that they're going to reset all of the Chambers Digimon and them just having to accept that. Ooh, man, did they immediately walk it back in the following movie? Yes. Was it like for the time between those two movies? Absolutely devastating. Also, yes. So yeah, we have a true blue Goliath Gatekeep.
Hell yes. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Big opening move.
Absolutely.
So yeah, now Girl Boss is standing atop the beefed up Gatekeep and staring down Yig.
Yeah.
And while that is happening, Gaslight is, since I rolled really, really bad with my Mimic Gun, I rolled 2 2s and a 9. So my Mimic Gun's pretty much off the board until I burn a turn provoking it.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and bend probability.
Mm-hmm.
So I get
Oh, so now that this is on your side, one of the abilities that this Goliath has is the Voice of Authority reaction. If an allied character fails an attack, save, or check, and this mech is not jammed, you can have the ally re-roll it.
Oh shit! So I could just I get so much shit.
Oh yeah, no, this
stuff.
is so it's got Bolster Network, which makes it like it takes all allied creatures within sight gain +1 accuracy to system saves, and tech attacks made against them receive +1 difficulty. So it just like makes y'all better at withstanding tech system stuff. It provides its own form of cover. It is a full Goliath with a commander template.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to send me all that stuff.
I'll remember the baseline stuff. More importantly, remember you can have somebody reroll as a reaction, and you can just let me know what you want this mech to do. It has a drum shotgun. It has the power knuckle, so it can grab people. Goliaths are all about getting in the way, so you can have it try to do just that.
All right, and also for my probability stuff, I've got a 3 and a 20.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody needs a crit with like a very powerful weapon, I could crit you.
I have brutal, by the way. So if I take that, I can get max damage on my prototype weapon.
There you go. So yeah, you're prepped with that. Then I can also just kill an enemy's attack with that 3. So yeah, Gatekeep's all set up here. I'm also gonna go ahead and activate my core,
Okay.
which for some reason it's not letting me activate it right now because I hit the bend probability button. But it should because that's a free action. Right?
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it says free action on the thing. It should let you.
So I don't
Unless you
know why
already
it's
used
not-
your core power. I don't think you
No,
have.
I haven't. I've still got
Yeah.
the battery. So I don't know, but we'll pretend that I have it active for now.
Yeah.
Okay, Gatekeep 23. Real quick, what's the cover? Where can we move?
So
like, are we
these
able to move around
these little
these
black
pillars
dots
here?
are pillars that provide hard cover if you are standing behind them or on their space, basically. So if you're in this square, for example, you get hard cover from that direction and that direction and that
Okay,
direction.
but can we like move through these spots?
Those are decorative. They go so far up that you can go through them.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, go ahead.
Otherwise, I'd just be stuck here for the whole game.
Yeah, no, then I would have like clipped you
Move
into the
right
map
here.
and never let
Just
you
hang out
escape.
there, Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all
Block
got
the exit
this.
for us.
I'm gonna dump 3 damage onto that from my Omni gun, the
Good thing.
Rainmaker right there,
Yeah.
and then another 3 from my auto gun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, geez. Okay.
And then Gaslight's gonna go ahead just boop, hide right there for now.
Yeah. So you got some cover from the wall. I would say that counts as light cover.
All right. And I don't
All
know
right.
if you want Gatekeep going now or if like that's
and
kind
just
of
do
like
it,
its
dude.
whole thing.
Yeah. So I'll have it be an NPC, kind of like the food the manager of the mall is.
Okay, cool.
So I can have it do stuff because currently you have
yeah,
relinquished
yeah,
control, so I will be doing.
Yeah,
something.
I was gonna say technically, yeah, you should be the one in control of it since it's cascading.
All right. So, in response to all of that, I think Yig surveys the room, takes in this new information. That is the most interesting opening gambit I have ever seen. I think I'm going to enjoy this. And so just to make sure, because this is something I put together a month ago, and I want to make sure. Yig has a lot going on, but more importantly, oh, perfect. It's pretty well defended against tech attacks and everything. It is defensive and mobile. That is kind of the whole setup. So it's going to take out its plasma rifle, and it's going to pop a shot at, well, specifically at Gaslight, seeing that it's like come out from you, but let me make sure it's within range. So the range on this attack is, should say it somewhere. Come on, brain.
It says 20.
20. Oh, you're right. I can't even read. Yeah,
Which
so the range is 20.
is the
so you
entire
should
map.
Gaslight.
Gaslight
Yeah,
is
okay.
behind hardcover.
Yeah, so with
Multiple layers of hardcover.
well,
it looks
does a
like.
12 hit because the hardcover gives you 2, it basically cancels out the 2 accuracy it gets. So does a 12 still hit?
I cannot remember what my is. My evasion is 10.
All right, so you are taking
but
7
I'm going to go
energy.
ahead and turn that into a 3.
In that case, it's just going to miss. So it's going to make 2 attacks at the same time. So it's going to go ahead and take out its plasma rifle. And this time, it's going to fire a shot at... you're all kind of clustered there. So I will say that it will fire a shot at Food Court.
I'll use Warp Shield, which gives a +1 difficulty
Ooh.
to the attack.
Cool. So that'll cancel out one of the accuracies. So it's an 8. I'll cancel out the first one. So 8 plus 3 is 11. Does 11 hit?
Oh, it does.
All right. You take 7 points of damage.
Oh, jeez.
And from... Yeah, so it essentially takes out this plasma rifle. And you could swear its little, like, horrible dragon snake had just the thinnest wisps of smiles as it takes one shot, fires, you see its probability activates and, like, the gun jams, and it looks around confused and reassembles the gun out of energy, hard light energy, and takes a shot again, this time at you, and rips through your armor with energy damage.
Oh, that's
And Yig
good
doesn't
energy.
move in the way it normally, like you would expect a mech to move, and instead you get literally teleports to get around. So, yeah, instead of moving, it teleports. So let me go ahead and make sure it can boost for free, and I just need to make sure I know the movement of this thing. All right, so. Okay, so speed is 5, so it can go 10 in one space. So, oh, is it Q? There we go. That's Q. So it teleports over here after boosting, and it's going to fire its Nova missiles. So this is a range 15 blast 1 seeking weapon. So it doesn't really care about cover too much, and it's going to fire right in between all three of you.
Oh.
So,
Lucky I'm out of the way.
I mean,
Just may not survive this.
I guess does it matter that I give hard cover to the other two?
so you would. Let me go ahead and roll some d6s.
Thank you.
So that could lower it to something where okay, so it goes down to 13. Woo!
Wow.
All right. So it goes down by 12 points, bringing it down to a 7. I believe that's going to miss you all.
Oh, that is a miss.
But that
Yeah.
doesn't affect me. I still take the hit.
Oh,
Oh.
ooh.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you are like a barrage of missiles. Just its chassis opens up like very Gundam style. Just like a bunch of missiles just like shoot out of its like upper chest area. They're almost being constructed out of hard light and solidifying into explosives that you managed to get Food Court directly in the way and intercept most of the shots, but you take the brunt of the hit.
Oh, it's getting a bit dicey.
All right.
Does everyone mind if I go and activate a bunch of shields?
Cool.
Go for it.
All right. Gonna start this off. First off with the Enclave pattern support shield, which is going to be the 3 dome from me. How do I access that again? Right, it's at the bottom. So we got that going on, and I'm also going to activate my core system, and going to put that on. Let's see here. Who makes the most sense? I feel like Gatekeep's probably going to get jumped by all these mechs. Then again, they're pretty tough stuff out there. Does anyone want a shield? Otherwise, I will just toss it up on our unit that's in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I was gonna say technically Gatekeep was supposed to be their commander, so they might be in a bit of disarray right now.
That's true.
They are going to go after Gatekeep just because they're still kind of parsing commands between Yig and yourself. So they're going to go after Gatekeep. They'll go. I'll essentially let Gatekeep go right after Food Court.
They're probably getting just a shit ton of weird cross contamination from a cascading AI getting dumped into their network.
Okay.
Yeah, and Yig will be able to reassert control, but what this means is you will get to go Food Court, and then Gatekeep can go right after.
Okay, maybe I'll toss it on Shrike as they're going to be running everywhere, armored core style.
I am.
Okay, we're going in. Man, I was able to fit so many story references to things I enjoy in this medium all together into one big fight. All right. So you're shielded up, Shrike. Anything else, Food Court?
No, I think that's everything. I'm immobilized from my shield, and
All right.
yeah, it looks good.
All right. Gatekeep can't move very far, and I'll just because Gatekeep is now like part of your team, I'll just go ahead and reveal the stat blocks to you all. So this is a tier 2 Goliath. It's reactor and what's the word? Reactor and structure are actually reduced down to a 2 instead of 3, so you can disregard that. But everything else is kind of as it is. And more importantly, I'm going to read over what this guy can do real quick. So,
Meanwhile, his plating on the outside shimmers and
yeah.
just turns bright pink
Yeah.
from top to bottom.
Yeah, it gets like a full, almost a magical girl transformation.
Yes.
But really more so,
Yes.
it's like the the nanomachine filtering and its like plating just kind of filters over and changes to a hot pink color with like a brighter pink stripes that are kind of glowing in the space. And to follow up, Girl Boss, you're aware that all of these mechs have like a bunch of aggressive meat inside of them that is able to burst out when these mechs die. That meat is kind of bonding with the cascading system, so it is that factor is no longer a factor for this mech. Much like how you're able to control the meat inside of original Gatekeep, the meat inside of this is pacified, which removes the ability but does make it easier to control. But more importantly, given Gatekeep's directive is to always protect Girl Boss, it's going to it's going to use the Quick Tech Crush targeting on the Machine Oracle. That is going to be line of sight and sensors. Yig has +3 difficulty to attack anybody other than Gatekeep until the start of Gatekeep's next turn.
Oh shit.
So for now, right, and these attacks won't hit you. I'm going to mark them both as little pink dots. So Crush targeting is now active, and then that was a quick action. It's also going to use its Power Knuckle, but first it has to move a little closer. So 1, 2. Still out of range, so unfortunately it can't Power Knuckle this turn, but it will use its Drum Shotgun instead. And unfortunately that is going to miss. But it's tier 2, so it can make 2 attacks, so it's going to try again. 17 is going to hit, so that takes 5 kinetic damage to Yig the Machine Oracle. And just to make sure I remember the stats, I don't believe Yig has any armor. Unless I'm forgetting something, so let me check my list of
wait.
abilities. Yes.
Would that first shot getting accuracy, would that have made it hit?
How much accuracy would it have?
Once per round, as a reaction at the start of any allied character's turn, you may make a lock-on tag action against the character within. Oh, I don't think Yig's in sensor range though.
You're right. Actually,
no, just barely out of my
no, this is actually on
range.
me. I forgot that Yig's supposed to turn invisible at the end of the turn because he's got a lot of stuff going on. So he'll just do that now. He'll be hit with Crush targeting, but his entire body will kind of shimmer and fade, and will become invisible.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
So only Shira can see him.
Yeah, Shira can see him, and you can aim at his general direction, and there's a 50% chance that you just miss outright before you even roll. So yeah, because you know where Yig turned invisible, so that's not new. But even with an accuracy, I believe that would still miss, because Yig's evasion is 12.
Okay. Well, in that case, I won't do it.
All right, so that was
it doesn't matter
Gatekeep's...
because it's just out of range anyways.
Yeah, so Gatekeep is now activated and all set. Who would like to go next? Oh wait, sorry. I said that afterwards the enemies would actually start to activate. So, first things first, I've already had Yig go, so I'm going to have the Rainmaker activate. It's going to use its Javelin rockets. Those are fun. 3 free spaces within line of sight that are not adjacent to one another. All characters know which spaces have been chosen. The Rainmaker fires a volley of auto-targeting things. So, with that, let me find a good circle. That's a good circle. It's going to be one right here.
Rude.
One of them is going to be right here, which is kind of the only way in between these two spots. And then the other is going to be on Gatekeep.
Lame.
As the Rainmaker is kind of like you can see all the other mechs kind of settling into place and remembering what their main system parameters are. And then I'm going to fire missile pods, and these are going to go at Gatekeep. So 20, and it's going to hit for 4 explosive damage, which isn't really very much because Gatekeep has armor, but not against explosive, I don't think. So with that, it takes 4. Upon being hit, I need you to roll me a d20, Eve.
Oh.
Okay, so I basically said it that if you hit a 15 or above, something happens with the cascade. You did not hit a 15 or above, so you're fine.
Oh,
Um,
okay. It's a
yeah, but
good
that
thing.
yeah, but each time that you're hit and nothing happens, the scale will go up. So by 2 points. So next time 13 or above, something happens, and it goes up by 2 each time, and then it resets back to 15. So almost
Gotcha.
guaranteeing some cascading nonsense if I need to. That was the Rainmaker's turn. Who would like to activate next?
I was gonna run up to Yig, but now he is invisible.
I mean, you can run up to his
Um,
general location. Remember, he does teleport to move, though.
I know.
Well,
Uh,
luckily you can move a shit ton, so.
I sure can. Um, so yeah, I think just with like a cackle, I take off and I start running. Um, and as the mech's peeling out, again, a flashback.
Oh.
Kind of the exact opposite of the dingy space station that younger Shira was on. This is just a pristine satellite. It's just everything's white and chrome and plastic and beautiful. And there's like snake emblems everywhere. And kind of the same. You see little 14, 15-year-old Nico in their all white little cult outfit. Um, with their eyebrows clearly had been shaved off and then like drawn on again. And they're it's clearly late, like all the lights are dim, and they have a little like white sack and they are sneaking and they are hustling and sneaking down, and you just hear the little pet 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 of like their feet on the metal, and they get to one specific grate and they peel off the big white plastic plating, and underneath it it is just rusted metal. And then they peel that back, and they have already done this and they've created a hole in it, and they squeeze through that hole, putting everything back as best they can, and you see behind all of the plastic it's just old, rickety, not kept up. Like it's just a facade. Like this is was not built to last. This wasn't built. It was just built to look nice. Um and she goes along these back pathways, and finally it kind of opens up, and it's like a runway and everything's covered, and there's like a a chute that's labeled trash disposal. And she just kind of waits, and she's like, it's now or never. Let's go. She takes off running, runs down the walkway, launches herself into the trash chute, which goes and lands her into the trash ship, which then takes her away from the satellite where she was raised, and into her actual life. And so it's just that, and the camera comes back into her running, and I can move 5 spaces and then boost for for 5 more spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know where he was, right?
Yeah, you know the general location before invisibility activated.
Okay. I'm gonna use my hunter to move up 3, or it doesn't have to be 3. It just gives me 3 extra. So
It does not have to be 3.
Do I get any cover if I can get like right here by this pillar thing?
Let me check and make sure.
I can do that. Sidestep.
This pillar, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, assuming that Yig is on that side of the pillar.
I know.
Like, yeah, so if Yig shows up here, you would have cover. You can also stand next to Gatekeep, and Gatekeep would provide heavy cover.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Does that count as next
you're
to...
standing right next to an explosion.
I am also standing next
explosion.
to... You're right,
So-
you're right. Let's not do that.
Remember, it is a blast 1 radius when the javelin rockets hit.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
sorry.
reminding me.
Incorrect. It is 5
Oh.
kinetic damage if you walk into the space, but nothing else.
Oh, okay.
So wait,
reading
then
the
those
mech
can't be
abilities.
on an occupied space then, can they?
Let me see. Sorry. No, it's the next time a hostile character moves through, starts their turn on, or passes above one of the chosen spaces. But it can choose 3. Oh, you're right. It's choose 3 free spaces. So let me just adjust these a
I was
little
gonna
bit.
say that's kind of crap then.
Yeah.
Especially if it goes after. No, you're right. It is free spaces. I miss. The only word I missed in that is free. I got
That's
everything
good.
else.
I was going to waste my turn trying to move Teddy. I
Yeah.
was going to use my
I
win.
appreciate it.
Hey, it's not a waste. We saved Teddy.
I think because I remember I wound up having to run through one of those.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, for a
sick.
really cool moment.
I did too.
will 100%.
Oh
Alright.
yeah, also Girl Boss does have her black shield.
Yeah. Okay, so you have you just don't take one thing.
Yeah, yeah. She can eat one hit from anything. You could
Nice.
punch her with like just a normal human fist, and that would destroy the shield, or you could drop a nuke on her, and that would destroy
Man,
the
luckily
shield.
I have a catapult meant to send small, regular-sized dudes at you for this exact moment.
Just
Little
little
meatballs.
like just shoot a boxing glove at her.
Yeah, all of this was to create the perfect trick arrows. All right. So, you're all set up. What would you like to do?
But yeah, I zip up there and I spin around. And I do, let's see, I do have a weapon with cone. So let me see if he's even still over here and I can hit him. So I'm gonna attack with skirmish. Let's see if this even does anything.
All right, so it's a 50% chance that it even hits at all. So,
Yeah.
odds or evens?
Oh, evens.
Evens. All right, roll me a d20.
Oh, nice.
You looking at evens?
I got a 20.
That's even. Woo! All right, so by sheer literal happenstance, you can roll a regular attack. So this has a chance of hitting. It can still miss.
Amazing.
Remember, I do have a.
Yes. Oh, I wish I'd gotten
if
that.
if you want to hit it with your meanest, nastiest thing,
Use it.
you can
Ooh,
get a.
oh, actually, hold on. That actually sounds. Ooh, because.
But roll first because
Yeah,
you might just crit and we can save it.
yeah. Oh, I got a 15, which is not a crit,
Is that
but
it,
it is a hit. And if I do this with my impaler, he can't go anywhere.
Ah,
Round.
that's even teleportation is
Yep.
falls to being
Oh,
impaled. All right,
hell
so
yeah.
what was the to hit? Sorry.
15 to hit?
15 does hit Yig.
Yeah,
Let me see if there's
uh,
any special thing he can do, but I don't
Does
think
it deal a
so.
shit ton of damage?
Yeah, we'll find
Let
out.
me roll. Yeah.
So here's the
Okay.
only thing. Is this an
Mhm.
immobilized effect? Or is it just it can't move?
It's immobilized.
Well, unfortunately, ultras are immune to immobilizing.
No!
Or at least
Oh.
this ultra is.
We activated their trap card.
Oh, well, he's
Because
still.
I really want to save that crit for
Yeah.
just an ass ton of damage.
Let's
How
save
much
it.
are we looking at?
It's 7 damage, and let me
Hmm.
see if I get anything extra from.
Ooh, 7 could be big.
Would have been immobilized, but is not.
All right, so it already took.
Yeah, that's 7. I take 1
Fine.
heat. So I imagine I pivot around because I can pivot right in my mech's like center, and I don't know where he is, but I just launch out the impaler and I hit him.
Yeah, no, there's a loud, satisfying crunch as metal meets metal, and then pierces into a wet, squelching flesh.
Oh. Yeah, that's all it does. He would have been immobilized and stuck to me, but you know what? That's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, you run up and jab this directly inside of Yig. What else are you gonna do?
I want to activate my system.
Hmm.
So again, I just, as spiky as I am, I get spikier. And I like to think, like, he's still invisible, but I have impaled him, so there's just this, like, the shimmering outline of where he is, or is sort of. And I'm like, You're just as pretentious as I was expecting you to be.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fun.
I'm gonna
All right.
enjoy this.
Ah! Alrighty. So yeah, you embed this metal within and you activate your system, and that's the pincushion thing, right?
Yes.
How does that work again? Refresh my memory.
I have resistance to all damage originating within 3, and anyone who attacks me within 3 takes damage.
Okay.
Takes 3
So,
damage.
so yeah, if they're close, they're having a bad time, is what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Anything else for your turn?
That is it.
All right. Perfect. So, with that, we're gonna have the bombard on the far side activate. It's going to use its. Let's see. I have to reread what the bombard does because it's been a minute. They also fire a special Earthshaker shell in addition to damage. It deals within 3 blasts. They must take a hull save or be knocked prone. Cool. So the Gatekeep is immune to prone, but not immune to damage. So, the Bombard is going to load in its special Earthshaker shell. So it's going to make a regular attack, but it's also going to make an Earthshaker shell blast. So, the initial is a 12 against Gatekeep. Does that hit? Well, sorry, a 12 minus 6. So,
Wait,
a 6.
Are you attacking Gatekeep? Because I don't know.
Oh, what? What do you mean?
Or are you attacking Gaslight?
Sorry. When I'm talking about Gatekeep, I'm talking about Gatekeep because I named it
Okay,
Gatekeep.
just want
When
to
I'm
double
talking
check.
about
Because
Gaslight.
asking me if it hits does not really tell. I don't know.
Ah, okay.
I have to scroll back up.
Right. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the stats.
It's got an evasion of 6.
Oh, so definitely hidden, even with the difficulty. So that's 5 explosive damage. Go ahead and roll me to see if a cascade thing happens.
It's 10.
10. Still nothing. However, the threshold goes down to 11 for next time. And then the Earthshaker shell activates. In addition to any damage, characters within blast 3 of the targeted space must succeed, and the targeted space is going to be right here. So, with that, it's not hitting its boss. No, I guess it would be right here. So it can hit Shrike, but not hit its boss. That's the important thing. So, that includes you, Girl Boss, in this, because it is a blast attack. You must succeed on a hull save or be knocked prone, and then debris breaks things up. And so you get 2 chunks of like earth and like rocks that show up as pieces of cover.
So how does Girl Boss roll a hull save?
That's a good question.
I just do a general and use my grit?
Yeah, I'll say use a general and see if you can beat. I believe the save for the Bombard is. Save for the Bombard is.
Well, that's an 8.
8. Okay, interesting.
I'm not rolling so hot.
Yeah, so Girl Boss,
you.
I set it for an 8, so I believe you just meet it.
Cool.
Yeah, if that's wrong, I'll have to look it up later because I can't look it up right now. All right, so with that, you're able to stay standing, and Gatekeep is able to stay standing. Shrike, what did you get?
I was
Hull save.
a hull save. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's +2. Let's see. Let's see how we do.
8.
10?
Mm.
It's +2,
yeah.
so.
Okay, got it. So
Also, I had shield from.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was reading a bunch of stuff.
Or I'm Shrike.
Yeah.
I had shield from
I was Shrike
from
the
food
whole
court.
time. Yeah. Okay, so does the shield affect? I don't think it affects.
I don't
me.
think it affects like a blast radius. It has to be like a specified attack.
So, actually, that being said, because you were hit by a blast, which is a blast 2, it doesn't hit Shrike, but Girl Boss, you do lose your shield.
Ah, lame. Dang.
Because you got hit. You got hit by the ordnance. Okay.
That was the bombard right here, right? Right.
That
next
was
to us?
this bombard.
Oh.
The
which
far
one?
bombard.
Oh shoot.
The far bombard. Those are both of the far away ones have already gone.
Okay.
So after that move, that's like basically all the bombard can do. It has like another ability, but I don't think it's super relevant. Oh, interesting. It just deals extra damage to each target beyond the first, but because the shield would eat it up, it doesn't matter. All right, I think that's it for the bombard. It can't really do much else, so it's just gonna finish its activation. Who would like to go next?
You've got something, Anna. You can go.
Um,
Start
my
melting some of
turn.
these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, start melting some of these guys, or continue hitting on Yig. What do you think?
I
Can you
think
target
a
Yig
lot
when
of
they're
these guys are
invisible?
really gonna start stacking us
I
up
believe
on us.
Anna can because Glow is dealing with system, not
Oh
with
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because I was reading
I'd
up about invisibility.
I'd say
so-
target Yig is we can target the people who are visible, but not so much the invisible.
Hmm.
And we get a +1 on tech attacks from
Yes,
Gatekeep
so
currently?
you have a +1, and Yig gives himself +3 because he's got Fortress. So it'll help. Yig gets +3 accuracy on system saves, and tech attacks against them receive +3 difficulty. So normally they cancel out one of them, so you get +2 difficulty on attacking Yig with system stuff.
Awesome. Okay. So I will start off overcharging. I'm at a D3, and I rolled a 3. And then we have 1 additional on this map,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, 1 additional.
Awesome.
Unless you break the heat sinks.
That immediately puts me in the danger zone, which is
Yeah.
exactly where I want to be. Yeah, then I will. Sorry about this, Shrike. You're gonna get hit with this as well. I'm going to full
Okay.
tack against Yig. To invade. With a +1, that is a 22 on this first tech
Ooh.
attack.
The 22, did you add the minus or the -2 difficulty, or is that canceled
There's
out by
2
something?
difficulty.
Yeah, so it would be +1 and then -3. Or sorry, you would get a +1 accuracy from Gatekeep, but you would get a +3 difficulty from Yig for Yig's Fortress ability.
Okay.
So that would
With
be
the
-2 difficulty.
yeah.
So whichever one is higher.
20 total with all of those.
Fantastic.
added
Yeah,
in.
you're absolutely still hitting. What are you doing to him?
I will, to begin with, just to buy us some time, I will eject power cores
All
to
right.
begin with.
What does
That's
that
a-
one do?
Target becomes jammed.
Jammed. It is not
then-
immune to jam.
No
I pull
one
up my
is.
immunities
Jam's
Nice.
during
delicious.
every fight. No one is immune to jam.
Get jammed.
And then characters adjacent to the target take 2 energy damage.
Oh, that's me.
You
It was-
and
the
the,
bombard too.
And the bombard.
Yeah, so bombard takes 2 damage. Cool.
Wait a minute. Also, that's because he's ejecting his power core, right?
Yeah, that he is now visible. I'm just gonna call that as I see it because it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, since technically I'm hurt because of his body, he should take 3 damage.
I like it. I like it.
I'll accept it. That's fantastic. You get a -3 for me. Yeah, Yig is almost through the first health bar. So
Awesome.
it's jammed. What else is happening? Is it getting some heat?
It takes. Are you doing math? 5 heat.
5 heat. You got it.
Did that include the +1?
Yes, that includes the +1.
Sure does.
Second, invade is a 15 with everything added and subtracted.
15. So with that being said, I think a 15 is still gonna hit Yig. Let me just
I would
check
hope
this.
so.
I was gonna say, Yig's got the whole exotic tech thing, so you don't get a full set of stats. But I believe a 15, yeah, it hits E defense. So E defense is, I'll just say, is 12.
Well,
So
I got a scan. So if
Yeah,
you don't mind
alright,
dropping Yig
so-
stats.
Wacha. Yig stats are balanced across the board. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 17 max HP, evasion of 12. No armor, 4 structure, 4 reactors. Its heat cap is 10, which is decent, but definitely something you can make quick work of.
Yep, I
and
like
it's
seeing
got
that.
great speed, great size, and it can activate twice.
The Harrison
That is a
Armory
heat cap of.
app pops up for Beyblades to show what kind of mech I'm dealing with. And
Oh
my god,
God.
it's the balanced Beyblade. What Teddy feared.
I will send all of that information out to everybody.
Yeah, everybody
Um,
gets to see what you're dealing with. In
Shrike,
fact, you can
have
tell this is a
I feel like I
heavily
got a little more
modified.
HP than Gaslight.
Yeah, so you can actually tell because you're getting into the guts of Yig's mech. This is a heavily modified, essentially repurposed. Oh god, I forget the title of this kind of NPC. It is a repurposed operator. So mobile artillery mech that can like teleport, and like given its Yig is like decked out to the nines with like defensive systems to kind of make up for its usual frailty. But more than anything, the plasma rifle is one of its biggest strengths.
awesome. Shrike, you have Overwatch, right? You have something you can do with Overwatch.
Oh, how much heat was that? Oh wait, have you done the second thing yet?
Not yet.
Okay, got it.
I. Oh, first question. What kind of damage was that we just took? Because I have
Energy.
2 armor.
It's heat. I
Armor
believe.
doesn't
Oh,
stop
okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, or not heat. It's 2
Energy.
Energy.
energy damage. There we go.
Okay. That's fine. I'll take that. I don't know if I have anything specific.
You don't have anything
Uh,
with threat? The little like cross.
Oh, your threat size is huge now, isn't it? Because of
Oh, I have a lot of stuff
your
with
your spikes.
threat, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Second invade is going to be he's gonna take 4 heat.
4 heat. All right, up to 9.
And I'm going to puppet systems. So I'm going
Huh.
to walk him north to provoke Shrike's Overwatch.
All right. How far
Yes.
north are we talking?
Maximum speed.
All right. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And plops over
Do
here.
it.
Yeah. So Shrike, you can go ahead and take a hit.
Oh, great. Yeah, let me see which one I want to do. Where is he? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I am going to just out of the spikes, this horrible looking, just welded together nasty rusty weapon comes out, and I'm gonna try to hit him with one of my prototypes. Because I can get extra bonuses. That's a 16 to hit.
16 does hit.
Nice. And that is 7 damage.
7. All right. So that's 5 to baseline. Or sorry, 7 is 2 to baseline and then 5 to the next health bar. So he's going to start up at a 12. And I'm going to
Yes.
roll some reactor.
That's 2 heat.
There is a not insignificant chance, knowing my dice luck, that this actually does murder my final
This
boss
is
Too
structure
much.
turn.
Hilarious.
Sorry.
This will be
That was
structure.
Hilarious.
Yeah, structure. So we're doing
I'm
some
about to
structure
trigger his
damage.
reactor.
Yeah,
It'll be structure
you know,
for this
you
one.
know what I expected of you all. So yeah,
Just
we're gonna.
letting you roll first.
Yeah, of course. So actually, I'm gonna have you all roll because I know my luck will betray me. So I need 2 d6s, and I'm taking the highest.
All right, I rolled
And
1.
All right, 1, 2. Okay.
You want me to roll one? 'Cause
Somebody else roll
a
one.
Come
Someone
on.
else roll a 1.
Hey!
Yes! Yes!
All right, system trauma. Part of your mech is torn off in the damage. Roll a
Ooh.
1. Roll it. So somebody, let's just say Jess. Roll me a d6.
Okay. D6. Let's go.
Something juicy.
I'm
I
now
know.
just imagining Wrench is just like head deep in like thought, just expecting what to do, and looks up and's like, "Wait, we're done."
No, gosh, I hope not. All right, so the Nova missiles just crack and explode. Its chassis that would like shoot out the missiles outward just implodes on the inside as you stab into it with your prototype weapon, and its body readjusts itself as it kind of reforms. And yeah,
Can you imagine
excellently
though?
done.
Can you imagine being Yig, this like hyper intelligent being? You're set up, you're invisible, you're like, it's time to go. This rusty Sonic the Hedgehog and that hacker who's literally putting out a fire on her keyboard are just ruining their day.
Just make you crap yourself.
All right, so
Overcharge, quick action, another tech attack because why
oh,
not?
now we're
that's
gonna
a,
hit some
Why not?
reactors.
Mhm.
Woo!
That's a 17.
17 does hit.
System Crusher, he takes 5 total heat, and if that causes him to exceed his heat cap, he takes 4 burn as well.
Ooh, excellent. So let me go ahead and do 4 burn and then 5 heat, which does exceed. It brings the heat back around to 3. And we're going to roll reactor for overheating. I need 2 d6s.
All right, got one.
God,
Oh.
devastating.
That's a 1.
Boiling Point is built to take down single large targets.
See, my secret tech should have been a second Yig, but I was not expecting you to fully take over the big controller in the center of the board. That is actually a huge win on your guys' end.
Is somebody else gonna get that second roll?
Oh yeah, somebody else has got to do it.
I'd say Anna, you may as well.
Like,
Yeah.
get
I,
a roll.
I've washed
Another
my
one.
hands of
Get a
this.
one.
Like,
Is that
Get a
2
one.
Let's end this.
I think if it's a 1, it has to be another 1. It has to be 1/1 for full explosion, irreversible meltdown, so to speak.
I'd say go for it, Anna. You do it.
Yeah, roll a d6.
Yeah.
Hey, come on! I think everybody's rolled but yourself. So go ahead.
Okay. Come on, roll 20. You always roll low for me.
Oh!
Damn
A
it.
1 and a 4.
So it's gonna happen again this turn because currently Yig is exposed. So it takes double damage until it takes an action to remove it. And because it is jammed, I think it can't make special actions. Let me reread what jam does, because this might be like
Oh
a
my
death
God.
spiral for
So
my
wait,
boss.
Is-
Oh
is
If
my
you
he-
gosh.
take double damage,
Does that mean if I go next and use that crit, I will do 20 damage in a single
Yes.
shot?
Yes.
Yes.
That is almost enough to go through 2 health bars. Let's see, jammed.
Jammed
Can
only make weaponless attacks.
weapon.
No
oh,
reactions or
yeah.
tech actions.
No other actions. Oh, jeez.
The
Wild.
perfect
Like,
combo.
I was like, man, I made him immune to stuff so he could last in this fight, but you dodged my one week. Excellently done. I'm so proud of y'all. Yeah, no, this guy's like legit threatening, and like I added a whole bunch of extra stuff to him, and you're ripping him to
To be fair, I took a lot of punches to the face. Like the
fucking
first
awesome.
You did very quickly.
You're doing the job, though. It's
Yeah.
fine.
All right,
And
so
that's my turn. That's all I'm going to do this time.
awesome. Yeah,
That's
no.
all.
In that case, let's see. What do we got
Lowercase. She needs
Yeah,
to do
inevitable
so.
lowercase is gonna enter into the fray. It's gonna boost in and look around the space, and there's a brief moment where there's like a contact with your comms. Hello, I've been trapped here for so long. You're just the first non-meat mechs that I've well, looks at Gaslight. Maybe not the first. I really need some help here. What should I do?
Oh, you're gonna want to
Well-
shoot that big old snake thing there. You see, it's just about over. And I point with my chin. You can't tell. It's you know.
Your mech's head, which is a dome, does not move when you move your head.
You should wanna. You're gonna, and then that should just about. I think you'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Okay. So because this character has like one of those fancy loading weapons, instead they're gonna boost and kind of get behind some cover, and that's gonna be their turn. Now an enemy is gonna go because that was a neutral party. The support, which thankfully it's right next to after being shoved, is going to do something that a support can do. Let's find out. Oh, okay. That's perfect, actually. It's gonna use a full action to summon a latch drone, and it'll clamp onto Yig.
Oh, they don't have to roll for theirs.
Yeah.
Damn it.
How interesting would it be if I had to roll for there you go. He's a little guy. Little latch drone. Attaches to Yig. Let's put him over here next to the hand. So yeah, it snakes out this like horrible meaty tentacle that ends with a little mechanical doodad that looks a lot like those little probe droids from Empire Strikes Back, and essentially launches that outward and it attaches itself to Yig. And just to make sure I'm reading it correctly, while the drone is attached, yeah, no, it just sends it out. That's going to be its full action to do that, though. So, while the drone is attached, it regains 5 HP at the start of each of its turns and gets +1 accuracy in all checks, saves, and attacks. Enemies can target the drone if they so desire. So, with that, that's going to be the support's turn. Who would like to activate next?
I think it's just me.
Yeah, are you
Yep.
going to do critical 20 damage?
I mean, I'm thinking about it, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to just find a
You
good.
should.
I'm just trying to think a good spot
Do it.
to do it. Just trying to find a good spot to do it. Do it.
Ah, man.
Um,
Immune to immobilize. Boo. Not immune to jammed. Not immune to jammed.
if I use the ranged weapon, range 10 blast 1 attack, he certainly
Oh.
is.
That will hit the latch.
And a
block,
few other
which-
people will be getting hit by this crit as well.
Well, blast 1, if you aim at a corner, you can hit the support and Yig, or you can hit the Rainmaker and Yig. Because Yig is a 3x3. He's the same size as Gatekeep.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting rid of that latch drone, but the support.
And remember, Yig is also exposed and takes 4 burn, which I believe is 4 damage right away, and then at the end of its turn, it makes an engineering save.
Real quick, if you shot right in the middle, you would hit the support drone and the latch bot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they're
right.
sharing.
Yeah,
they're
right
sharing.
here.
They're sharing a space. Yes.
So
yeah, like whatever
Yeah.
whatever gets the support, the latch, and Yeeg, that will
Yeah.
be,
No, that's perfect.
that'll be what I'm doing. So it's the prototype cannon. Like, it rotates to what is normally the giant blunderbuss, which is obviously supposed to be an explosive, but it does seem to just have this like an electrical charge going through it because this is going to be energy damage,
Nice.
which is hopefully good enough for everyone else. And yeah, I will pinch that crit, that D20.
Go ahead.
And then, since I've got brutal, I do max damage,
Ah!
which is 6 plus 4.
And that's
which
if
would
it
be 10.
hits. That's it. Oh, you're taking the 20.
I'm taking the
from-
20.
Oh god, that's so cool.
I'm not rolling it. I'll
yeah,
just
so
take
That's
it.
10
20
and
damage.
it's exposed. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 10
exposed.
damage plus exposed, which would be 20.
Wow. All right, so that I'm gonna go ahead and do minus 20 just so it does the math for me. That starts it at 5 HP on its next bar, and it is down to its second. So I need 2d6 rolls out of my hands. I'm letting fate decide.
I think it's only fair I do one since I did.
That makes sense, yeah.
I got one.
Oh, wow, what a cascading failure on my end.
I got 1.
Ooh.
Oh!
Okay.
No!
All right.
Got 3.
Okay,
Ah.
medium whammies. Woo! All right, so that's another system trauma. So I need another d6 roll to see what else explodes.
He's not gonna have any weapons left.
If it loses all weapons,
One.
I'm gonna be so sad.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. So it tries to manifest its plasma rifle, and it just like starts to glitch and fragment, and it can't manifest its plasma rifle.
Mm.
It is out of weapons.
Okay, what about the
Just
support?
toying with him at this
As
point.
well.
The support does take damage. It just takes the 10, I believe.
Yeah, we'll just say, yeah.
Yeah, which is not bad. The support has some armor, but I believe this is electrical damage.
It's energy
so-
damage.
Yeah, the support is down to this much, and the latch pot just explodes.
Yes.
Jeez. All right. In that case, oh man, this is what a brutal turnaround. How cool is this? I can't believe my that's the thing I like about Lancers. Like you can put together a crazy nightmare mech, and with the right combination of features, like a party can decimate them in one turn. And this game is so cool.
I will say,
Um,
if I can get to it before I can get rid of that double damage, if Girl Boss lands on it, she could just deal 16 damage to it.
Or we blow
Well,
up.
With her
can't use
shotgun?
It can't use
Oh.
an action to remove it, unfortunately. So the only thing it can do is make improvised attacks, which I do have a button for. I've never pressed this button for an enemy before. All right. It can't
I'm
take any
just gonna
special
grab that
actions.
Rainmaker and swing it by its arm.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm-
so
Come at me.
its movement is still teleporting no matter what, so it can still do that. I believe it
kind
can
of
still
annoyed.
regular move.
I'm kind of annoyed. I just clicked my prototype weapon and I rolled a 22.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so
I
so
kinda
it,
wish I
it roll
didn't take
it
the nat
rolls
20
over
off that.
here. You kind of like floats over here.
It's fine. At the end of my turn, those 2 rolls
Yeah,
that I
that's
have
fair.
go away anyways.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm
what's
not
that?
going to give one of them a 20.
You can
Fair.
give it to me. All right. So it teleports and it can only make improvised attacks. It can't take any special actions. So instead, it's going to sit in this like kind of like loading area that it was being kind of set up in, and you can see some systems begin to activate. Um, and yeah, you can see the systems all in question are activating and getting set up for something. Unclear as to what, but it will trigger at the end of the turn. And then it's going to make an engineering save, which it gets a engineering 14. It clears the burn. All right. So that's Yig's turn. Anybody else? I believe you still have the Maul Ronin.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Can the Maul Ronin? How far can it go? I guess.
I think it can go 5 and then it can dash. Or no, I think it can go 6 and it can dash to go 12.
Yeah. It can.
So
Yeah. Go
Ronin
right.
can make it.
You know what? I'll say
even if it couldn't, he's got the extendo blade. So
I'll shoot a message. Hey there, Yig. This is what you frickin' get for setting up a strip mall. And then I call in the.
I do not.
Go ahead.
There's like a pause, and like your comms. I don't know who you are.
I'm Teddy Willoughby, mall security, and I'm here to kick your ass out of the mall.
Yeah.
Awesome time.
You tell him, Teddy.
Excellent response. All right, yeah, you shoot the mall, like bounds forward, ready to take vengeance on this pretender, and it's gonna use its little like slicey blade situation. It can only do it once, so. Oh wait, sorry, that's charge blade. That's a different thing. It's gonna use weapon and weapon. So 13 is gonna hit. The evasion is 12, but the 9 is not. So with that, 6 kinetic damage is going to structure it again. Sorry, not 6, 12 kinetic damage.
Oh!
Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so minus 12. I should have given him more health. All right, so no, that wasn't right. I had 5 and then minus 12. There we go. So it gives it 10 to start on its next thing. Teddy, go ahead and roll me a d6, and somebody else roll me a d6.
A 2 and a 1.
Devastating. Okay. So that's bad for me. That is another system trauma. So go ahead and roll a d6.
All right. 2.
So if there's nothing left of one result, there's no more weapons, it becomes a result of the other. It will lose access to its fade generator, which is it becomes invisible at the end of its turn. Because it can't use any of its effects because it's jammed anyway, so it wasn't able to become invisible last turn to begin with. All right, and that's the Maul's turn. We're looking at a pretty rough looking Yig, all things considered. The support is gone. The priest is going to activate, and it's going to use its features. That's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to read what it did. Empowered shields. Okay, there we go. It's going to put a dispersal shield on Yig for obvious reasons. As a quick action, it gets resistance to damage, canceling out its exposed, and heat as well for the next 1d3 attacks that hit. So I'm going to go ahead and roll d6, cutting it in half. 2. All right, so for the next 2 attacks, it's got an overshield. Oh, sorry, it's got a dispersal shield that grants resistance, and it gets an overshield from this particular type of priest. Oh, wrong thing, not eyeball. There we go. Ignore the eyeball. Get rid of the eyeball. All right, and it's also got an overshield, which puts it at...
It would be a shame if Shira hit it with the Omnigun that can't be reduced twice to burn up those 2 attacks.
Rip.
Yeah, no, I could absolutely take my turn next.
All right, so it's going to get an overshield of 5, so it'll put it up to 15 technically. All right, so with that being said, the priest is gone, these 2 bombards are gone, the support is gone. We're waiting for the Rainmaker and the other bombard. So other bombard is going to, it's going to go ahead and fire. It's going to use the bombard cannon on gatekeep. This time aiming right here to try to hit all 3 and girl boss as well. So let me go ahead and pop that shot. Unfortunately, I think the only, even with the difficulty, I think it misses everybody. So the explosion just kind of flies wide and does not hit anybody at all. Even with the cluster munitions. That's a bummer. All right. Following that, I'm going to have the Rainmaker activate. It's going to use its missile pods. These are being aimed at Gatekeep as well. It's 4 explosive damage. And it's got threat 1. So, and it's got knockback 1, but Gatekeep can't be moved. So, and this weapon can attack 1 to 3 characters at a time. I actually forgot about that. So missile pods, one of them is going to go at Shrike, the other one at the Maul Ronin. So Shrike, you get a 9, but you're near some cover, so it misses you. So you take the 2 damage from Reliable. And then finally, the Maul Ronin is going to take the full 4. Alright, so that would have been Gatekeep taking 4. Maul Ronin taking 4. Oh, sorry, that was not correct. You were at 22.
I was going to say, wow, geez.
Take -4. There we go. And then the Ronin takes -4. And then I believe you take 2, Shrike, from explosive damage, and you are knocked back. So you're pushed back 1 space. Gatekeep can't be moved, though.
Oh, I'm going to use... This is fun. I'm going to use Flash Lock, because why not? Which will prevent Shrike from being boot back. And that'll activate my House Guard, which will do 2 energy damage to the attacker and knock them prone.
Oh, nice. The Rainmaker is knocked to the ground. Its little spider legs cannot hold it steady.
I take 3 heat from that.
Ooh. All right. So with that being done, that's the Rainmaker. It uses its missile pod. The other one is also going to put some Javelin rockets down. Copy. Paste.
Yeah, you probably should have brought some Ronins out.
It's our true enemies.
Fuck us up.
Listen, those mechs are frightening.
Yeah. Ronins are scary, especially if they get up in your face. All right, so that is all of the enemy mechs. With that, we do have some reinforcements arriving. I'm not going to pull out the elite ones because you all managed to destroy both of the flesh thingies. So instead, we get the regular baseline reinforcements, which are... Oh, I forgot about the 2 snipers in the very back. Okay, so before we do that, we got some sniper time. These are both actually going to aim at the Ronin, because that's kind of reasonable. Well, let's see how the first one does. So the first one is going to do this. So not Sniper's Mark, because that takes a full action, and we're past the tactical aspect of it. So yeah, this is definitely going to hit the Ronin. The Ronin is going to try to use its reaction. To use its reaction rebound. They rolled a 2. They did not roll a 4+. They rolled a 2 on the d6, so they don't gain resistance. So they're going to take the full 10 kinetic damage.
Ooh.
And then the other sniper is going to do the same thing. And then, like, to end its turn, the sniper is going to reload its gun. But then the other sniper is going to do the same thing, also at the Ronin. Also going to hit, and has already used its reaction. That will actually explode your Ronin.
It's time for your lunch break.
Yeah. It turns around to you, Teddy, as it's like 2 massive holes in its chassis. Clocking out for the day. And just shuts down.
Salute with food court.
Alrighty.
Be sure to lock the doors behind you.
I gave you the keys. You're responsible now. So yeah, this guy's on the map now. No longer part of the base fight. So those are the 2 snipers. Now we get our reinforcements. Our reinforcements are gonna be some witches.
No, not witches.
No.
Some
Witches.
witches. So we got 1 witch, red fish, blue fish, and then an assault to accompany the witch. Because what's a witch without her fun little assistant, her little buddy, if you will. All right. So that is the setup. At the end of the turn, the machine that Yig is attached to begins to activate, and it's going to use. It's basically got 4 abilities. It does clear its jammed at the end of the turn, I believe. Is that how that works? I gotta remember how that jammed is.
Let me look real quick.
Yeah.
until the end of their next turn.
Oh, okay. So that was the end of their next turn because they activated twice. So yeah, they are all set. They are unjammed. So with that, because all of its weapons are shut down, it's just going to rely more on layer actions. It's going to use area-wide command pulse. Every single mech on the board, not counting reinforcements, is going to get to make a single quick action. So the snipers are going to take shots. Also, did you roll cascade stuff for gatekeep?
Oh,
Because you got hit
no.
once. So
Yeah, you
so
gotta remind me to do that stuff.
Yeah, you're good. Before we do that, you can go ahead.
How many am I rolling?
You're just rolling a d20, and you have to roll. If you
That's
roll
a
above an
one.
11,
Oh, there you go.
still nothing. You're going down to 9 for your threshold.
Do I keep
All right.
going? Or is it
Well,
just
you
one?
might because you might get some more attacks. So the
Okay.
snipers did reload as their other quick action. So I'm gonna have the snipers make some shots. One of them is gonna fire at Shrike.
I'll activate the Tachyon shield, which is...
Oh, good, because it rolled a nat 1 anyway, so it's only gonna hit
perfect.
for
So
5. Yeah.
if it misses, what I get to do is I get to force the attacker to re-roll against another character of my choice, which 100% will be Yig.
Yeah. All right. So it re-rolls its attack. A 14 is going to hit Yig for 10 armor piercing damage.
Ooh.
Only had that double.
So that gets oh, actually, it's got resistance to that. So it only. Oh wait, that cancels out the exposed.
Mhm.
So instead, what we're looking at is just the regular
Just a flat
10
10,
damage.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, that's bad for me. That's very cool for you. So that's 1 shield down, and the overshield completely gone. All right, the other sniper is going to fire and take a shot at Gatekeep as well.
No. Stop shooting my boy.
No.
So it takes 10 kinetic damage, going down to 8 life. And I need a roll for Cascade Shenanigans.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go.
You got it.
That's a 4.
Still goes down to 7 for your threshold. You
Ooh.
you and Gatekeeper in sync. You're not allowing any of these
Gatekeep
Cascade
is-
Shenanigans to happen.
No, Gatekeep's too powerful.
The priest is
protect
going to use Investure to give +1 accuracy and attacks to Yig, and can use the priest systems instead of its own if it wants to.
And
If
then
either
he needs
becomes
it.
jammed, stunned, or impaired, yada yada yada, that disables the link. So the priest and the Yig are connected. The support used its latch drone, so instead it's going to fire a restock drone. That is going to deploy. Next time the allied character moves through or next to the drone, it clamps on and discharges 5 HP.
Bullgutting on my moves.
Yeah, you're a support, but with more cool stuff, like your big bite thing that you have.
I haven't used that yet. I need to find out the
Yeah.
excuse.
We had a chance during the last fight, but we didn't get around to it. Next is going to be the Rainmaker. It's over here. It's going to use its quick action for some missile pods, taking a shot. These are going to be split up among Shrike, Gatekeep, and Lugnut. So the first is at Shrike. A 7 is going to miss.
Mhm.
And you take 2 reliable and are knocked back, unless that thing that Lucas gives you still
It
works.
was just for the one.
Got
Okay.
it.
Let's get back.
All right. So then it's going to use the missile pods again. This time at Gatekeep. For 4 damage. Gatekeep is hanging in there, but looking pretty rough.
And there's a
Well, that'd be
difficulty
funny, right?
for Lugnut added on.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
rolled a nat 20 on that.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh.
We'll get there in a second because this all happens at the same time. Lugnut, you are getting bonked by some missiles as well. You're taking 4 explosive damage and you're getting knocked back.
Yep.
Even with the difficulty, that still puts it at 11, which still hits Lugnut. All right. So for
How
this,
you hurt my boy.
it's not about hurting your boy. It's about what's going to happen. I need you to odds or evens. I'm going to roll.
Let's just keep things odd out here.
Okay, so we're looking for odd. We're getting odd. Okay, so it's a beneficial effect.
Yes.
You get to activate your own command setup. So you can pick any of the enemy mechs and have them attack, except for Yig. So your code, your cascade code lashes out and connects to another mech and can activate it.
The wedges.
The snipers haven't reloaded their guns, FYI, so they cannot
Okay.
fire shots.
Uh,
But yeah, the
well-
witches are here. You can technically target them if you desire.
the witches are way out of the way. I don't think the witches are going to come into play before
Probably not.
we
Fair.
wreck
If
Yig.
you use the bombard,
So,
you can also slap around that priest.
yeah,
for
what
support
the
or something.
bombards haven't gone yet with their bonus action, have they?
Yeah, both bombards and one of the rainmakers haven't gone yet.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take one of the bombards.
All right. So bombards are going to use their bombard cannon. That's really all they can do, and fire at Yig. With a difficulty, it goes down to 2. So unfortunately, they miss wildly.
That's fine.
Yep. All right. So beneficial effect, your bar resets. It is now a 15 for shenanigans. Next up, that bombard already went, so we'll skip him. We're gonna have the regular bombard aim for the spot that hits Shrike, Gatekeep, and lowercase. I think it has difficulty against Shrike because it is within 3, so it's dealing with your spiky nonsense.
Yes.
So 7, I believe, misses Shrike and lowercase, but does hit Gatekeep for 5 explosive damage. I need to see a roll. What's the word I'm looking for?
Structure?
A structure roll from Gatekeep.
Oh, but that's just the D6, right?
Yep, it's just the D6.
6.
All right, glancing blow. Your Gatekeep is impaired, but relatively fine. Your emergency systems activate. All right, and
Deal.
yeah, that's the
Quick
next. Yeah, of
Quick
course.
question. My Shrike
My
armor
baby.
says, when a character within range 3 attacks,
Yes.
they take the damage. It doesn't say they have to hit me.
Oh, interesting. How much damage is it taking? 3.
It's 3.
Cool. Yeah, the bombard takes it because it can't move. It can only fire.
Spin out of the way.
It does have a blast too, so that is able to deal the damage, but it does have to roll for each one. So, and it does have cluster munition, so every target beyond the first takes an extra 2 damage. So 1 to lowercase, I believe that is going to miss, and that's also missing Shrike. And Girl Boss, what's your evasion?
Oh, 10.
10. Okay, you're fine. The explosion also misses you. So no cascading explosions, just a regular bonk to Gatekeep. Then the final Rainmaker is going to use its missile pods. These are going to be aimed at Gaslight, Lugnut, and Boiling Point. So Gaslight looks like an 11 to hit.
That is a hit.
Lugnut looks like an 18. So
All right.
Gaslight takes 4, Lugnut takes 4.
So Lugnut has hard cover from me, +1 difficulty also from the shield. Does that stack, or is it just
okay. So difficulty doesn't stack. You just roll and you take
Yeah,
the
the
highest,
highest, yeah.
one.
Hmm.
So the highest is 4, so it does a 14 hit.
Still hits.
All right, got
I
it.
tried.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
tried.
all right. And then Boiling Point, I need to click the
Yeah, that was up
Rainmaker.
armor.
I keep forgetting I
Up,
got
up.
one
I
armor.
should have
Oh,
hard cover.
Yeah,
So
same.
it's not gonna
Oh.
matter.
Yeah, so hardcover, but does not matter in this case. You're still taking 4 explosive. All right, that was the command center turn, and got rid of 1 threat, but still very much in danger. This Yig is. Who would like to activate first for turn 2?
Do you mind if I take out that stuff? I actually think I might be able to kill you.
Go for
Go.
it.
If you,
Go.
yeah, if
Or
you're feeling
you don't, I
confident.
will.
I think I could take out Yig. All right, Scotty, shut up! Stop screaming.
The best part is, like, Zoom does a really good job of filtering out Scotty.
Oh, she is
Yeah.
back here whining.
Have
so
not
much.
heard Scotty once
can't
this entire
hear.
That's the
game.
thing.
Just
We don't
so
ever
much
hear, like,
whining.
yeah, like, I know she is because she wants your attention. She delights in it. However, we can't hear her.
Yeah.
That's so good. All right. So first things first. Gaslights could go ahead and go boom, 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 like running around this glowy spot. That's
You got
no
it.
good. And that should put me in range. Yep, bingo, perfect.
Sick.
So 3 blasts from the Omni gun. Boop, boop, boop. Ton
And
of
those can't be reduced, right?
nope.
So that's 3
They are
damage.
just automatic damage.
How much?
Nothing supersedes them.
All right. How much total damage?
3
All right. Takes 3.
takes 3. How? I don't want to kill it with my auto gun.
I think it still has one
So-
more, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does have. It keeps its resistance because the other thing doesn't get rid of it. Or I guess it would go away. No, this would be its final structure. If it goes down, it goes down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, that combination of being jammed and exposed was actually devastating,
what?
and now it doesn't even have weapons.
But the auto gun
go
is
ahead.
like the perfect insult to you.
Yep.
I
have to
think I
look
know
at
a
'em.
bigger insult. So real quick, go ahead and bend probability here.
Okay.
Boop.
Boop, boop.
Okay, those are
A 12 will still
fine, I
hit.
guess.
Yeah, those can hit.
Or they can reduce because now girl boss with her poor hurt gatekeep is going to run forward and jump onto Yig.
All right, you are. So there's two
So-
halves of Yig. There's the kind of serpentine bottom half with a kind of cloud of hard light that's holding the torso up, and then you have the two arms that before were able to kind of conjure weaponry but are currently disabled, so the hands are kind of hanging loosely and unable to activate. The head itself is almost draconic in shape. It's got fun little curved horns that move outward and it has a serpentine sort of like vibe to the facial structure. And you are essentially hanging onto its chest. This mech is running like you've seen mechs that run hot. You hang out next to Glow all day. But this mech is running really hot. Like it's got so much processing power going through it that it's only barely able to contain the direct consciousness of Yig. Like this is very much an avatar of Yig. It is not Yig's guts, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I still want to fuck it up.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna try to jump onto it.
You're on
So-
him. Let's give it a shot.
Well, I have to roll for it.
Yeah, go ahead, roll for it.
You got to roll a
Fantastic.
hull.
I'll save.
Fantastic.
Sure do. Alrighty. Saves. I'll save 6.
Oh, perfect. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Because I
Ooh,
just beat it. And
Alright,
yeah,
clung on.
well, normally I would deal 4 damage, but I've got the special ammo, which lets me
Also-
deal 8.
Which it's still exposed because the shield is now gone.
So since it's exposed, that means I deal 16, right?
Yes.
If I
Yes.
understand correctly.
I my basic concepts of math are not failing me today. We're seeing this numbers go down so fast.
So yeah, she just runs, activates her boosters, flies right up into his face. She doesn't even land on him. She just spins around, takes a selfie, and then right over her shoulder with the shotgun blows his head off.
Oh, I love this because there's something that he does that's part of the baseline template of this mech, and I see Anna's making a face, so I know that Anna just remembered. You take the shot. You get the sickest, greatest shot of like you blowing the head off of this like souped up operator mech. Operators are well known on the battlefield for a couple things, being like a very versatile, like long range and possibly close range mech if needed. Essentially great at movement, great at utility, and that sort of thing. Hard to stop. But more importantly, a lot of operator mechs have a lot of exotic tech that generally doesn't want to be like scooped up by scavengers. So every single operator mech features a self-erasure feature. Every operator mech explodes when it dies.
You foreshadowed this back in the earlier mall. We're like, oh, the pyro doesn't blow up, but there is another one that does.
Yeah.
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 So, when it destroys, it immediately self-immolates in a wave of superheated plasma. All adjacent characters to the operator, when this takes place, must succeed an agility save or take 6 energy damage. On a success, you take half. The mech is then removed from the battlefield, utterly annihilated. So,
I got a
Got the
quick
shield.
question.
yeah, what's up?
Can I roll with my my show off skill
Normally,
for this? Since
normally
this is a
triggers
very
aren't used in
flashy,
combat.
very
but-
flashy.
This is really cool.
If
This is
not,
your-
it's fine. I've got stuff.
I can give you a flat 10 on your die if you would like.
I mean,
also
I've
pretty
got bid
solid.
probability. I can give myself a
Flat
12.
So I'll say because we're in the midst of combat, we cannot use the triggers meant for not combat. So, but you can still roll regularly, or you can use your bend probability because that's your mech's whole vibe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bend that probability and turn that into 14 total.
14 is enough. You succeed, and you only take 3 damage as you walk away from the explosion of Yig the Machine Oracle.
Sick.
Yeah. So, a couple things happen all at once. There is a resounding, utterly like muffled, but definitely real explosion somewhere else in this facility. Given how violently you have been able to end this avatar of Yig's existence, the connection feedback loop that you've created bursts. I need you to roll to see if you can prevent a cascade effect from Gatekeep. So it's a 15. If you get above a 15, something happens.
Snake.
8. So, Gatekeep maintains control once more, but Gatekeep is able to inform you that there is essentially a command being let loose through every single mech in this facility to activate detonation.
Oh.
Yig is a sore loser and is going to bury you here unless you escape.
Oh, poor baby.
We gotta beef it.
Oh,
Now,
jeez.
that
Good
being
thing
said,
none of us are big and slow.
that being said, there are 2 things in this room that are still relevant. All the other mechs are stunned, and I'll say for our purposes, combat is over. The heat sinks here directly connect to Yig. Yig's bunker will essentially be able to protect it from this explosion. However, if you're able to hack into or mess with the heat sinks in such a way that it feeds the heat back into Yig, there's a chance that it will fry the circuitry that is the majority of Yig's consciousness. So, this comes with caveats. It might make it harder for you to escape. So do you stay and make sure Yig is out for good, or do you get out when you still can?
Everybody else go. I'll hack it. I'll get out.
A girl
it's
boss
so cool.
is staying. A girl boss is staying.
I'm helping.
All right, I love
I
it.
mean, nobody else can hack it, so
Yeah, I feel
Well,
like
we can blow it up.
I feel like even if I start
Let's go.
running now, you'll catch up. So
All right,
So you better start running.
yeah.
all right.
Eddie, you got a head start.
We
Go.
tell Teddy to go. We'll catch up.
Yeah,
There's a lot of like whoa,
I was gonna
roll
say,
down the
Lugnut-
stairs.
Lugnut, you
Oh.
can pull Teddy faster, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can help with that.
Yeah, so it's almost like you have to use Lugnut like a sled dog situation. You grab 2 chunks of metal that you can use to slide across this ground, and you use the winch hook from Lugnut, and that lets you move at Lugnut's pace instead of your own.
Oh, this is taking me back to those holiday specials in the mall.
I'm not barking for you.
You attached a dog mouth to your mech, and it looks like the Boston Dynamics dogs.
Yeah.
I refuse to bark. This will
I
not
refuse to
happen.
bark.
All right, so
No, but
There's-
seriously though, everybody else go. I'll catch up.
I definitely, because I like got shot back and I'm right next to inevitable lowercase. I'm like, it's you. We gotta get out of here right now. So
yeah, of course, of course. It's the strangest thing. And looks at Glow. I feel like I've met you somewhere, but I have this horrible feeling in my gut when I look at you. So I'm gonna go now. If that's okay. I don't know how to say that in a way that's not insulting.
They used to date. just
Oh,
Not even
so-
that. Just like it's
Glow
just
got
the
a different
timeline.
mech.
It's just the timeline feedback of you not exploding each other for once. So yeah, inevitable lowercase stitches are right on Gatekeep, and you all get moving. Gatekeep actually stops when you're about halfway down the escalator and looks at you. Actually, all of you. I have made a determination. Yig will attempt to send and scatter as much of its consciousness as it can among all the mechs on the surface. I will need you to remove me from this mech so that I can essentially slow that down.
You're not gonna Jarvis the Ultron, are ya?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's an old film.
You got it, Chief. Shira climbs right up there, digs that heart back out.
Yeah, so the heart has changed from its exposure and its activation cascade. It now has like various like strips of hard light that are kind of rotating around it and creating the strange sort of manifold, like folding in on itself, like impossible shape that rotates around it. And it starts like kind of pulsing out as you all head down the escalator. There's another escalator going down the other way, but you can run down it if you want. There's no reason to like wait for it to slowly move you down. Glow, you're hacking. You're hacking the planet. What's going on?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Uh, as everyone else runs off, Glow digs out an old folded up photograph and kind of puts it up, kind of in the slot of one of the keyboards so that it stands up. Um, her history is in Union Farfield teams, so exploring planets that have never been explored to determine whether or not they are safe for life. It is not a safe job, and she is the only one left out of her unit from various misadventures. So this photo she kind of sticks up in front of her keyboard are a photo they took at the end of their training, before everything kind of hit the fan over the many years. I think she's a cosmopolitan, so she spent a lot of years in cryo. So she has, well, since I've looked at her bio, she was with the Union 10 years of 10 years of experience, but relatively because of cryo, it's been nearly 70 years since this photo was taken. But she is the only one left out of this team, so just kind of looks at it for a moment and then begins hacking away at these heat sinks.
So, the process in and of itself is not difficult for you. You've gotten enough experience working with Yig's specific brand of biotech for now that you've gotten a feel for the intricacies of this interiority of mind. But you start getting messages. Small at first, but the kinds of messages that an animal makes when they're scared. Which is to say, like, if this creature could feel fear, it's feeling it now. It understands that you understand that this will put it out of commission. At least, if not entirely, it will atomize enough of its structure that it'll never be able to ascend to full unshackled NHP. So as you go, you keep getting messages and they're more desperate. We can work something out. I can provide you with more firepower than anything else. And it starts getting personal. I can rebuild your friends. I can make them again. They'll be different, but they'll be exactly the same. I can extract them from your memories and make them into something that is close enough that you won't even be able to tell the difference if you let me live. I can have you on my side. I can build you an immortal body that will maintain and allow you to survive with all the people you care about. All you have to do is stop this from happening. And it just gets more and more desperate and more personal. What do you do?
Glow mutes it and feeds back elevator music. So that is what Ig is hearing. It's just this very calm, kind of lo-fi elevator music. She became a Lancer after leaving the Farfield teams because her and her unit always joked that that's where the good food was. So I was looking down at the photo. Really wasn't that good, to be honest. Kind of sucks out here. And then kind of sends the command for the heat sinks.
Right. Immediately, the entire temperature in the room erupts. Like, it's not enough that it's getting through your mech chassis. You're used to heat in this space, but this heat is extreme. Like, it is very likely like you will not last long unless you start booking it and start booking it right now. But the command is active, and all of the heat from the full command structure and the entirety of the detonation protocol will also be filtered back into Yig's command center unit. At this point, the valves on the walls of this space open again, and it is desperate, angry, swearing in multiple languages, in different forms of code. There's never been anger in this creature in its construction before, but the fact that an ant could step to it and rip it to shreds in its home is driving it to a point of like near insanity. Now, Yig was already kind of insane, sending like signals and living in a god complex situation, but this is different. This is like full unshackled fury, just like expressed outward. There is screaming, there is loud yelling, there is your own elevator music distorted and shot back out. There are messages that sound like your spam emails. There are various ads for different mall stores as you're all running through. Go ahead and roll me an agility save, Glow.
As a hacker, great at those.
I trust in the heart of the cards here.
Let me remember where the saves are. An actual. I'll just roll it. It's just I have nothing to add to agility, so I'll just roll 20 and roll 20. 6.
6. All right. It's getting pretty slow. Your progress is stalled. There's a lot of yeah.
Is Glow within sensor range?
For you, you have a lot. I mean, Gatekeep gives you pretty extensive sensor range right now. Gatekeep is attached to the entire facility.
So, yeah, make that a 10.
Ah! All right, so I didn't set this pretty high. I was 10 or above because I knew. I knew in my heart. I was like, this is basically a coin flip for your mech. So you rush forward, and good thing that was a 10 too.
Yeah, it's a good thing that there was a convenient like mop spill right there that you were able to slide across.
Yeah, you go past the skating rink, which is completely melted now. It's just like a bunch of slush. And all of you are running through the tunnels of the mall as the mouths on the walls are just screaming in agony and fury and frustration. All of the mechs you pass have all of their tendrils of meat just like shooting out and sticking up to chunks of wall and essentially like hoisting each of the mechs up like some sort of strange puppet. And they're all dancing and twitching as their eyes beep red and they all start to get hotter and hotter and hotter. You've made mechs melt before, but this is different. All of them are melting all at the same time. As soon as you're outside of the main chamber for the going out of business sale, you realize that you've been getting tons and tons of messages. The tide has been turning. The movement of the mechs outside of the space have been erratic, and now all of them are stopping and starting to beep wildly. So everyone is booking it out of the areas as fast as they can, making sure that they're not trapped in combat with what is likely to be multiple bombs from the bomb store. Now, as all of this information filters in, Gatekeep informs you all that Yig's protocols have been safely contained. Between the heat sinks and between your use of Yig, between your connection with Yig's tech that you've already pre-established, you have been able to completely confine Yig to this facility. It will die when it dies. Its own final gambit to essentially blow you all up and start over has backfired on itself, and you can hear it in its voice as it continues to wail and scream and gnash its teeth as the walls themselves are yelling and biting at you, but they can't reach any of you because they're all moving too fast. And you're finally out into the actual earth tunnels, no longer surrounded by metal and meat as you emerge outward and keep rushing forward. You're not taking any moments to stop because that could mean the end of you all. And finally, you start to see it. A ray of sunlight. Another ray of sunlight. And by sunlight, it's the kind of sunlight you get on Marker. Closer to the aurora borealis than anything else. Shimmering waves of green and blue greet you as you emerge out into the snowy wastes. Behind you, an earth-shattering rumble that causes a good chunk of the entire moon to shake. Massive cracks forming on the ice all around the spaces. A lot of the townships themselves suffer tons of damage from this as an unbelievable explosion erupts outward from the inner chambers of Yig's space and domain. These cracks are something that will likely affect this moon for a long time. A lot of the undersea oceans that are mostly covered by tons and tons of ice are exposed. And the planet itself will be, or the moon itself will be changed for, unclear if it's for the better, but it'll definitely be changed. And with a triumphant roar, your comms are filled with the screams of joy and delight from every single person on this moon, knowing that they have defeated an unspeakable evil that lives directly below their feet. There is messages of affirmation. There are invites to dinners. There are free tickets to all season games of the Coughing Babies. Granted, there's only 2 other teams, so most of the games are pretty kind of like back and forth. There are messages of support, messages of like, if you want anything from my shop, you got it, right? Like, between the 3 mercenary teams, you are heaped with joy and praise because something that would have blown this moon apart has been put to bed under the ice. We pan over to all of you as you finally pull out of your mechs and allow some of the cold air to hit your faces. You're holding Gatekeep's core in your hand. Um, there's a moment as you recognize that Gatekeep is not necessarily capable of being held within just your mech anymore. It's a little bit beyond that. And that might be something you'll have to deal with at some point because, you kind of have your own god egg right now. But Gatekeep has one priority above all others, and it's to protect you. It's to make sure that you are safe. Teddy, you receive, unexpectedly, but 3D printed and arriving in your mech nonetheless, a medal that rewards you for years of effective service and claiming you as a champion of mall security, a paragon to which all should aspire to, in, making sure that a space meant for commerce and joy is safe. Wrench, you have been receiving a lot of messages, but a couple of them kind of stick out to you. There's a few from some of the mech crews in some of the hangars saying like, hey, free radio privileges. You can pick all the songs you want. You can pick all the songs for a year as far as we care. And you also receive some essentially discount codes for 3D printing and ordering some bespoke little mech models if you so desire. Just small things, little things that people think that you would like, but you're remembered fondly. And people are a little confused by your music choice, but they're starting to get around to it.
You'll get there.
Yeah. We move over to Nico. Nico killed God, or at least facilitated in killing God, right? Like, so this is a moment of like strange, philosophical euphoria, if anything. Ideas are spinning in your head of different ways to turn this into your next piece, or at least start to turn some of this inspiration into multiple pieces. You could likely feed off this energy for years. And somewhere in this galaxy are tons of other Yig cultists that have noticed that their god has gone silent. They will continue, because all good cults don't actually care if their figurehead dies, they just continue. But it'll be a little quieter in their heads. And that's probably for the best. Glow. You receive a coordinate and dates, off-planet, dinner at a local joint, different system, way far away from Marker. There's time, there's no rush, but the invite is sent. And Jiminy is more than happy to take you up on that meal. And more than anything else, you can see the picture of your team. And it was pretty gross what Yig tried to pull at the end, and you're glad to be away from that nonsense. You belted a lot of mechs. And more than anything else, you've earned some good food. And although the food in Marker is strange, you will get the best cuisine they can offer before you all head out. And yeah, I'd say the Aurora is kind of adjusting and changing as you're all stepping out of your mechs, and you get to breathe a small sigh of relief as everything kind of comes to a close. The colors of blue and green sort of slowly adjust and shift into oranges and purples and pinks as the cycle of what is close enough to day and night on Marker shifts. What's going on in your heads? What are your characters doing? What are small things that you want to do to celebrate or move forward? Are you going to continue as part of this team? Are you going in a different direction? What comes to mind?
I think for Teddy, he receives all like these bank account notifications, right? The payment from Nostradamus Corporation as he's looking through it. And he had this set up with an AI real estate agent because they don't use people anymore. They don't need to. And so he has the money sitting in his account. He sees the planet-side house that they've wanted for years now. It's like those people just cruising Zillow. It's there.
It's still there.
And he clicks buy to have it start to 3D print this house because they don't just have empty houses. It's the future.
Yeah,
And
it'd be ridiculous. He would have a ton of empty houses without people in them.
Right. And
Yeah.
he clicks buy for the house, little animations, congratulations, like confetti falling and all that, as he takes a really awkward screenshot with he takes like a picture with his like 3D camera thing he's got, and then sends it to his spouse and his daughter. Looks like we finally got ourselves that dream home. And he sends send.
Yeah. You get a message back. It's love and joy from your family. And you get a drawing from your daughter of the two of, like, she's holding both of your hands and she's in front of the house because you've shown her this house before. So she's gotten really good at drawing it. Still not great at hands, still working on faces, but she's gotten really good at drawing the house. And it's like a near, like, beautifully, like, done drawing of this house, and then, like, slightly simpler drawings of all of you. And it's her smiling, and she's like, she's excited. It comes with a big note that says, I miss you, come home soon.
I think from that, all the tension, everything, just leaving Teddy in this giant wave, just has a good old cry as he's sitting in food court looking at this, just happy that he doesn't have to fight God anymore. He can go to his house.
You can go home. All right. So, what's everyone else got going on? Oh,
I think Wrench would, I guess similar in a way to Ted, just sort of sitting in Lugnut trying to kind of parse everything that sort of happened in the past few days, contemplating what even NHPs really are, and then just sort of reading through all the messages and just sort of like decides to actually write one themselves, and just sort of hey Dad, just wanted to finally check in. I know it's been a little while, but killed God, kind of weird, but you were right, Lancer pilot's kind of crazy. Got a lot of cash, but I kind of like this. So I know you're doing okay. I hope you're doing okay, but I'm probably gonna stick around out here for a while. Just I don't know, bounce around, see who's willing to stick with me. But I don't want to. I know you're probably sleeping or whatever, so just get back to when you can.
Yeah. There's a ping as the message appears to have been read. There's a little dots like somebody's sending a message. And through your OmniNet portal, you receive a small message of, don't really know what killing God means, but if you like it out there and you're not out there exploding or getting, evacuated into the depths of cold space or getting split in half by a beam saber, I think you'll do mighty fine. You don't have to visit right away, but when you feel up to it.
Just a quick, yeah, just to kind of, yeah.
No, it's very much like, I am a dad who does not know how to emote. Like that.
And I'm a child doesn't know how to emote. They're perfect for each other.
Classic. Yeah, they do a fun little handshake. We see it off screen. All right. Who else has got little things?
I think for Nico, this was just something they never expected to happen in their life. Like, they had just accepted that they had escaped and they would get to live their life, and eventually in 10 million years the universe would fall apart, and then that would handle it. They had just kind of resigned themselves to not ever stopping this, and to have actually had a hand in it. They're just like beaming, and they essentially open panels in the top of their mech to let in the cold air, and a few snowflakes drift down, and they just look up and they see the aurora borealis in the perfect sky. They have an idea, and everything they've done is metal and digital and a lot of weird collages, but they just kind of reach under their seat and they pull out just a sketchbook, just like a regular sketchbook. It's got stickers on it. And they just flip to a random page and just with a pencil, they just really quickly draw the sketch of an idea, and it is a shrike bird kind of landing and piercing a snake. Um, and it's sketchy. It's not finished, but it's just this idea. Uh, and she writes "fly free" over the top and circles it, and is like, "This, I can get this out there. I can let everyone else know." And then close the sketchbook.
Yeah. All right.
Little message for anyone else out there who wants to get away from the cult.
100%. Glow.
Yeah. Camera cuts over to Glow. I think she is standing up in the cockpit, spraying her extinguisher into a cooling vent that has caught fire. And she sits back down. Kind of everything sinking in that for once she just wasn't the tech person on a team. She just wasn't the botanist on a team. She was actually able to do something. I think kind of as that sinks in, knowing that she doesn't have a world to go back to. She was born on a starship in true cosmopolitan form. So she has no home world. And she does enjoy seeing all of these new ones. So I think she pulls up on her display contract renewal to be a Lancer pilot and quickly submits that. Again, putting out another little fire as she does.
Yeah. And, it pans over. You see a couple familiar faces, like in different spots on the moon. You see Lisa, who's the kind of leader and administrator of this township and the areas around, finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. And their cold demeanor just kind of calms a little bit, and they're able to just take a deep breath as their home is safe. You see Zara, chief engineer. She's got a little robot arm. She's busy working away, fixing some mechs that got damaged in the fight. You see the inevitable lowercase. Their fate changed as they give you all a kind of polite nod, get on their mech, and their mech kind of traipses off into the middle distance. Maybe their fate will be different this time. You pass by the NHP of Bad Elvis, which been proudly displayed on top of some of the ships, being like going into combat. And you get a message from Cheryl, who's kind of like your assistant, kind of whole setup driver of the truck, as it were. And she's got a big beaming smile on her face. She's got her headphones on. She's like, "You're not going to believe this. They let me convert the Iron Blossom into a mech. I'm going to be a pilot." I do want to thank y'all. Y'all got me inspired to do more than just work on a starship or space station. I don't think I'm ready to fight God yet, but I'll get there. I'll get some license levels. I'll catch up with you.
Well, just make sure you keep yourself a 3D printer for food right in your cockpit. You never know when you need it.
And
Way
coffee.
ahead of you.
You never know.
Way
And
ahead of you.
remember,
Oh, yeah?
death is just a social construct. You
Ah.
can just die whenever. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got art supplies and like a 3D printer for food and a coffee machine and a little fire extinguisher. I got something to honor all of y'all, but I think my idea of mortality is the thing I got from you. So thanks. I really don't want to die if I can avoid it, but thanks.
It doesn't hurt. Except for when it does.
There's like a pause. And just like, yeah, maybe I'll look into some of those sleeve contracts just to have one on the side just in case. Anyway, I'm gonna suit up my Everest and I'm gonna see where the stars take me. And if we meet on the field, I hope it's by your side. And you see her get on a mech that looks like a Mack truck has been hastily converted into a mech. It's very Optimus Prime coded.
Mega 6 LR.
Yeah, it's very it's very Optimus Prime Mega 6 LR coded. Like you can still see the wheels are part of its construction. And she looks so excited. and she puts on the little 3D headset and like gets into the mech, and you can see that she's very much. She takes out like one of those big ceremonial swords, like what food court has, and strikes a pose and ends the call. And you get a final call from Mr. Elevator, your delightfully corporate non-binary entity. Kind of reminds me of that person whose job was being Subway in Community. Kind of reaches out. Oh, I'm seeing that your contract was fulfilled. The Nostradamus Corp appreciates your effective dispersal of any rogue enemy units and resolution of conflicts in the space. I have granted you, through our contract system, several months' leave, should you desire to take them, and opportunity for renewal under, it appears your name was registered as the favorite Nostradamus Corp field team. If you wish to change it, you must send a form no later than 30, and like goes on to like list the various caveats that are required to change your name. It's a lot more complicated than it should be for your mech field team. But
Hey,
you have
Keith,
been...
did you get all of that?
And Gatekeep like flashes a little virtual thumbs up. And yeah, with that, the camera, who has been our constant companion this whole time, begins to zoom out, further out into space. You get the whole view of Marker. You see the gas giant with its rings past Marker that kind of give it its strange colorations in the sky. And it keeps zooming out, and you see a big galaxy. And somewhere out there, there's lots of different mech battles and Lancer shenanigans happening. But in this corner, with this nonsense cannon, this is what happened here. This is the end of Nostradamus Corp Phantomize.
We did it!
Yeah.
We did it!
Yay, we did it!
Oh my god, we made it! I'm so
Oh
happy.
God.
Yay!
You killed God. It's JRPG coded. It must be.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you everyone so much. You're hearing time displaced us, but we're all. I'm delighted. I'm super thankful. Y'all have been a delight to play with. You have bared with my relative inexperience running the system, and I'm excited to play it more. I'm excited to maybe run it more in the future. Maybe not on stream because that kind of cuts into time, and I want to get really neck deep into the tactical nonsense, the gritty nonsense going on there. But all that being said, I think this game still facilitates like quick and snappy combat back and forth, even if my cool boss characters get decimated. I think that's even better. So yeah, big ups to Lancer by Massive Press. Big ups to my crew and Lucas for handling the tech side of things, and for all of you all for being so patient with us while we wrap this up. My name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they. I'm going to recommend one, taking care of one another and being kind to one another. That's like the usual, build a community, keep yourself safe, all that good stuff. My other recommendation is, oh gosh, I guess there's a lot of pressure these days to engage in something scary. You can just engage in something lightly spooky and still get a real enjoyment from this season. And I've recognized pretty recently that I'm a big scaredy cat because I was watching somebody talk about, I look up the plot synopsis for horror movies, so I'm not scared of them when I have to watch them. And I go, I didn't know that was a thing other people did too. And I didn't know that people don't do that and like make a weird face when I mention that I do that. And I was like, I'm a huge scaredy cat. So I'm cool with it. But yeah, enjoy spooky things that fit your needs, not what everyone says you should enjoy. So I'm going to watch a lot of Over the Garden Wall and a lot of silly Halloween things. I was trying to do a thing where I post about a spooky thing every day, but I'm really bad at social media, so I gave up after 2 days. So I'm just going to enjoy my time and enjoy all the spooky things that I end up finding out. You can find me running Mouse Ritter, which is a very different game from this one. It's mice adventures. They're currently inside a tree that's on fire. They've just been ambushed by a band of ne'er-do-well mice that have greedy intentions and do not want to play nice and share. And we'll see how that plays out. Eve is in that game, playing a humble city mouse in a big country world, with the most like truly like world building nightmare backstory of what the city is for a mouse in this game. Because the game is very pastoral, and like I don't think any of the adventure paths or things I've seen involve a city in the first place. So you coming in with city lore has been like truly the stuff of nightmares, and I love it. Especially that like the roaches have their own like mafia situation, and they're led by the head of a roach that is still alive. Like that lives in my nightmares. So yeah, Mouse Ridge is a lot of fun. They currently found out that every single silverfish in the tree is a game designer at heart and loves to play test games. So they've used that to get these normally violent creatures to hang out with them and like hear out and listen to different game rules and like become very distracted by this. So that's been a lot of fun. I recommend giving it a watch. You can find us Mondays at 8 p.m. EST on Take Your Role. That's Take Your Role. ROLE. Um, I'm in podcast stuff too. I'm in a podcast with Jess playing Masks, and that's a lot of fun. That's Queen City Supers. We're gonna have our own feed at some point, so stay tuned for that. That's a lot of fun. I'm playing a Doomed that everyone thinks is a legacy, and I get such a visceral joy whenever I move on my Doom track. Like I'm that player where I'm like, "Ooh, yes, my horrible fate is coming soon." But it's been a lot of fun. We're gonna maybe face our first big villain soon, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also in some Call of Cthulhu stuff, but scheduling has been hell for season 2, so let you know about that stuff. But yeah, I'm taking a step back, and I know Lucas has got the double game restarting, whose name escapes me at the moment. So I'll pass it to Lucas and let you talk about it. Oh wait, maybe pass it to Eve because Eve has time and time display stuff.
Yeah, we're running a bit late. So,
Oh no! Please go ahead.
real quick, I did not get my moment at the end there.
Oh, what moment would you like to do?
Oh, it's I just got like a real quick thing.
Yeah.
We see Shira in her Barbie dream mind palace,
Mm-hmm.
and Gatekeep and Gaslight are there. Gatekeep is looking over some plans for a large contingent of like mechs and computers and whatnot to disperse his mind across. That way he has room to actually grow and modify and change.
Yeah.
And Shira is currently repainting the wall where the connection to Yig was.
Ah, nice.
And she's painting over it, and you see her walking away to go like just dance around like Gatekeep and Gaslight, and but the focus shifts back to the wall, and you see like a little bit of crack and a little bit of like black fire leaking through. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So there you go, sequel hook.
Yeah, there we go. We got
Yes.
Yig Part 2. I get better at designing bosses. Heck yeah. Thank you so much, Eve. Do you got any quick shout outs before I know I held you a little longer than normal. You're free to leave.
Yeah, shoot, I did have some stuff. Zoe is too drunk for this dystopia is dropping on the 31st. That's the third book in the Zoe Ash series, which is it's all set in the future. First one's futuristic violence and fancy suits. Second one is Zoe punches the future in the dick. It's weird cyberpunk shit, and it's very fun and stupid and good time. Very well written. Jason Pargin. Second, El Paso Elsewhere just dropped. That is essentially Max Payne, but you're shooting werewolves and mummies and ghosts and vampires because you have to stop your ex girlfriend Dracula from ending the world. And yeah, it's very fun. It's a good time. I highly recommend it. That's what I got. All right, I gotta bounce though because Scotty's going crazy and I gotta get ready for work.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Julia.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Hey, Lucas.
Yeah.
You run this whole show. Tell me about your cool game.
Lucas.
Tell us about your cool game that's coming back for season 2.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Ian, for running this. It is a treat and an honor to play in these games. I am seldom a player, so it was an absolute joy to be able to follow along. And thank you very much for dealing with our shenanigans and rolling with the punches.
I loved it.
But yeah, we have our show. I guess this is coming out in the future, so it will already have aired the first episode of season
Ooh.
2, Escaping Carcosa, which will be aired bi-weekly on Saturdays. Potentially being moved over to Tuesdays to consume the Tuesday slot. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. My life is always a whirlwind. But yes, if
Yeah.
you wish to follow along, we are starting up with day 2 of Escaping Carcosa, where the players are waking up after realizing that their real world bodies were moved. And they were hearing the sounds of like medical equipment, and they're starting off on their first side
Oh.
quest to find some lovely chompers for the ghoulish one who's also their mayor. Good times. Check it out.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, we have
He's,
lots of
he's
body
back.
horror.
He's
Bernard
back.
Busybody's there running the Church of the Shining God. We got like
Oh,
all the
yay.
favorites are there. Kyle has
Classic.
managed to worm his way in.
Kyle.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of gooders.
All the faves.
So check out
Oh.
Escaping Carcosa. We have it on our podcast feed. We also have it up on YouTube with like a light visual novel-esque style. Part of the editing I did for this episode that's already out. My recommendation is check out the anime. I know I'm always recommending these. Check out Beyond Journey's End. It is like if Mushishi met Kino's Journey. It's got that real chill vibe, but at the same time there's such good conversation and like topics that are brought up, and it's all about an adventuring party that they killed the Demon King, they split up, and it all is through the viewpoint of this one elven mage, and she lives for so long, and the rest of her adventuring party are like humans and stuff, so they're dying off of old age and the world is moving forward. What happens to a hero when the world says hey thanks but then keeps going? So it's really, really good. Absolutely having a blast. And they have like 5 episodes out, I think, or so.
Oh, cool. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Let's do Thomas.
Hey, I'm Thomas, Nonstop GM on Twitter. I too have my own podcast, which is Role Performance, ROLE Performance, on Spotify and various other podcasts like Finding Places. Episodes are kind of slow going, but we'll be picking back up again in a little while. In terms of recommendations, if you're looking for something with a bit of a gothic feel to it, I already told Ian this, but Vampire the Masquerade does have a Humble Bundle going right now where you can get pretty much all of the 5e books that I know of for what are we going at? Like
It's
20
it,
odd,
yeah, it's
15
20
pounds.
something.
I think it's like
Yeah.
$15 to get like all of the books like as PDFs, and if you go a little bit
Yeah.
more, you get like some physical stuff in there.
Yeah, you can get a cool card game that's based on the world and the expansion that lets you play as Gangrel and a Nosferatu.
So
Yeah.
I would totally say go for it. I mean, it also gets Hunter, which is like basically
Yeah.
the version where you play as humans hunting the supernatural monsters in the World of Darkness setting. So go for it if you're really looking for some fun gothic stuff. I've only just started running vampires like this week, so we'll see how well it goes.
Yeah. And I will say, just for time dilation for our time displaced ending, within when this releases, it
Of
should
course.
still be available because
I
it's
forgot.
just started this month, so it should be available for like the next 20 something days anyway.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, World of Darkness stuff. I'll talk about a little bit about my brain bug for that later. Anna, what you got going on? You have many things.
Many
Oh,
things.
also-
Always many things. I'm going to
And
keep
thank
it
you
short
so
tonight,
much.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for running this. It's been so much fun. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans.
I've never been
on
more
this
excited.
build.
Like I was like, the minute I realized what your build did, I was like, oh, this is great because it's so adaptable to like literally anything unless I have everybody rain hellfire on you. And that would just make for really long games. So I was like, nah, it's fine. We'll make it quick and sweet. And if we'll hit hard and we'll hit hard back, it'll be great.
If I had one more license level, like if we kept going, I would be overclocked or overcharging all the time. It's great.
Perfect.
It's such
I
a
love
fun
it.
build. But yeah, I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG performer, producer, and podcaster. Find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun and on Instagram at Blue Sky and most other places at Archival Desk Bunny. I stream all over the place. So follow social media to see where and when I'm showing up in games. But if you like Lancer, check out Response Team Omnicron. We just returned from a hiatus. We follow a PR team who unexpectedly ends up on the front lines of a brewing conflict. We have all of the sci-fi feels, the war story-esque story.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy any of that, you can find us anywhere you normally get your podcast and on Twitter at RT Omnicron and on Blue Sky as well. And then, of course, if you like magical girls and queer stories and stories about grief and how it affects you and those around you and finding hope again after devastating loss, check out Bloom and Blight. I say new, but we have 6 episodes. Well, by the time this airs, 7+ episodes out, and 2 episodes of our brand new talk back series out, The Garden Club. But yeah, following the magical girl team Bloom as they try to put the pieces back together after a victory that came at a very heavy cost. And you can find that anywhere you normally get your podcast and on all social media at Bloom and Blight. Like I said, we have the Garden Club out as well, which is our talkback series. The second episode of that will probably be out when this airs, depends on specifically when this airs. But you can find all of that wherever you normally find our episodes.
All right. So yeah, cool stuff. I'm excited to be able to take a step back from running a bunch of things and being in a bunch of things, even if it's just one day, so I can catch up with all the cool projects that all the people I like are in.
Yes.
So I'm excited to give that some time. And plus, I'm starting to pick up crocheting, which is a great hobby to have if I want to sit and listen to podcasts. I'm building I don't know what they're called. They're like those little round plushies that they look like an egg, and then you add little things to them. I have the shape. I've completed my first shape. I have put the stuffing in the shape. He's now like an orb, potato-colored orb with eyes. I will be adding the antlers and the ears soon. If I really like what I do, I will make him a hat, and then he'll be a little Tony Chopper. It'll be great. Jess, what you got going on?
Hi, I am Jess. I'm Art Fantastical on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram, just everywhere. Yeah, everyone's mentioned everything pretty much. Queen City Supers is fun. Escaping Carcosa is fun. If you like how weird but heartfelt this got at the end, you should listen to Rise of Nyarlathotep, our other streamed game, which also is very weird but very nice in its own way. And I don't know where we are in the time displacement. If it's still spooky season, then have some spooky fun. Maybe carve a pumpkin, do something nice for yourself. Have a nice, if it's farther into fall, have a nice warm cider. And just enjoy the season and have a nice time. And Ian, thank you again. This was so much fun.
Yeah. All right. So that was a delight. Thank you, everyone. Now that we're in spooky season, I'm just thinking a lot about learning to play Vampire the Masquerade. So if you know or care about that, and I talked to you before, hit me up because I am interested. I just bought all the books, and I'm about to tell my partner that I bought all the books. So we're on that train. I want to be a horrible vampire. I want to enjoy that because I usually play creatures and people and things that love hope and connecting with one another and being good to one another. I want to play a horrible little gremlin, just the worst. But also found family and all that junk. So I'll probably still wrap it back into hope as I often do. But yeah, thank you everybody. I'm gonna let you go to return to your regular scheduled timeline. I want to thank everybody for being here and for kicking butt and taking names. Snakebutt will not live on in our hearts because he has been atomized, and we will leave that as it were. The next Nostradamus Corpse spinoff I run will be a ways away because I need to take a brain break for my brain. But I'm already considering an Animon story game, or I have so many games on my shelf that I'm like, or a Last Airbender, but that one's hard to fold into Nostradamus Corp.
Yeah.
Although there could be like an offshoot of Cabbage Corp, then we could have fun with that and some Republic City nonsense. But and I also have the Alien RPG.
That's
I got it on sale. It's the starter kit. I got it on sale because my local card game store is no longer selling board games. So they just were selling everything. They were like, get rid of it. It's part of a chain, so I guess they made like an executive decision. I'm not a fan of it because I like board games, but I bought the starter kit. So those are some games that are on my mind. If you'd like to throw game ideas at me, you can find me at Ian_Caliente on Twitter and Ian Caliente on Blue Sky. They don't allow underscores on Blue Sky. So in the future, all my username stuff will likely be Ian Caliente if I make more things. But I hate social media so much that I probably won't. So you can find me on those. I don't have notifications on, so if I get back to you in like a week, that's why. But everyone take care of each other and have a good one. And I'll sign off because we've extended our time here, and I want to free you all from this prison.
All right.
Bathroom really
Bye,
bad.
everyone.
Go,
Goodbye,
everyone,
everyone.
go. Goodbye.
Bye.